Brennan brings the run-and-shoot offense from Hawaii to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The preseason WAC Offensive Player of the Year squaring off against that man, sophomore John Parker Wison, getting set to make his first start at quarterback for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Awfully glad to welcome you to newly renovated and expanded Bryant-Denny Stadium for the season opener. It's Hawaii and Alabama. Hi, everyone, and aloha. Welcome to Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. I'm David Crane. We're glad to have you with us here on Crimson Tide pay-per-view. It's going to be a very special night. It's always a lot of fun for the season opener, but you'll see a little bit of history as well. Some 400 former Alabama football players are here tonight, part of what will be a state record crowd of 92,138, seeing Alabama and Hawaii kick off the 2006 season. Glad to be joined tonight by two good guys. We'll thank one for the wardrobe first. Russell Yamanoha joining us from Honolulu, K5 and News 8. We will start with the Warriors, that high-powered offense. It starts with Colt Brennan, but he's got a lot of weapons.
Right, and two of them are trying to avoid a sophomore jinx in Devon Bess and Ryan Grice-Mullen. A couple of freshmen last year have a year under their belts. Both of them went for about 1,200 yards last year. The interesting thing was Bess was named the freshman All-American, but Ryan Grice-Mullen, number one, actually outgained him in receiving yardage. So those two guys will be going back and forth all season long. They'll definitely be the go-to guys for Colt Brennan here tonight.
Tide fans hope we won't be calling their names very often tonight. Also joined by Tyler Watts. We both have to say thank you for the wardrobe here tonight. The Crimson Tide offense, it starts obviously with John Parker Wison making his first start. He's got some help as well, and it's in that.
Darby, now in his senior season, had over 1,200 rushing yards last year, only had 3 touchdowns, but that's deceiving because Tim Castile would come in down at the short yardage goal line and go ahead and punch it in for Alabama. So look for Ken Darby to get 25 to 30 carries here tonight.
Should become the all-time leading rusher in Alabama football history if he has a good season. It should be a lot of fun here tonight. Contrasting styles on offense, the run and shoot of Hawaii, a little more conservative attack by Alabama. We're closing in on kickoff. The Tide and the Warriors coming up next on Crimson Tide pay-per-view. $92,138 fans on hand here tonight to see the Crimson Tide and the Warriors of the University of Hawaii. We touched on the two offenses. Leaves one other side of the ball to discuss, the unenviable task of trying to stop these two offenses. The Alabama defense, the Hawaii defense. Some more of that. We send it down. The fourth member of our crew, our Cook's Pest Control sideline reporter. He is our very own Chris Stewart.
Thank you, David. Guys, defensively for Hawaii, they want to make some changes. They want to get some great athletes on that side of the ball. They feel like they have. They've got a defensive end, number 91, who came to the University of Hawaii as a basketball player at 6'5", 215 pounds. Now at 6'6", 285, Akaika Alama-Francis is now a standout on that defensive front. For Alabama, Ramsey Robinson had to play kind of in the shadows a season ago behind Charlie Peppra, behind Roman Harper. But now at corner, the stage is his, and he and the rest of the Alabama defense, in particular the secondary, will be challenged today.
Feel confident. I like from the call and ready to spring. I don't want to go out there afraid they're going to make a mistake. I want them going out there they're confident, reckless, arrogant, good show the class. They do all the things I'm talking about. Knock them down,
2006 Crimson Tide makes its entrance into the new and improved Bryant-Denny Stadium. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. 92,138 the new capacity for this 77-year-old stadium. The north end zone expansion there on the left of your screen just completed, up in capacity. It is a state record crowd to watch a football game, and I tell you what, it may be 93 degrees, but there's not much humidity. It doesn't feel like early September, or what we're accustomed to anyway here in Tuscaloosa. A very pleasant night for football here at the Capstone. Crimson Tide coming off a 10-2 season a year ago. Hawaii trying to bounce back from a 5-7 campaign under June Jones, former Warrior player in the early 70s. 53-37 his record with the Warriors. It is 8th year. Mike Shula in his 4th season at his alma mater, the University of Alabama. The head coach now 20-17 in his coaching career, all here at Alabama. Game captains for the Tide: Ramsey Robinson, LaRon McClain, and Kenneth Darby. Out at midfield, meeting with referee Jeff Roberson for the coin toss. It is the third meeting between these two teams. The first on the mainland, previous two in Hawaii. The Warriors winning the last one a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, 37-29. High scoring affair. The Crimson Tide won 21-16 out in Honolulu a year before that in 2002. Tyler Watts was a part of that victorious Alabama team in Hawaii. You were running a little bit different offense than the Warriors did. You guys didn't exactly run and shoot it, did you?
Not exactly. We just ran it. We forgot to shoot.
But that's what this Alabama defense is going to have to contend with tonight. It is a high-powered, high-octane, up-tempo Hawaii defense.
And really, truly, the only thing to draw a comparison to be would be last year's Cotton Bowl versus Texas Tech. But even at that, Hawaii's going to do much more.
That is a nice starting point for these Alabama coaches. The Texas Tech offense, but they're not exactly alike. Texas Tech might actually run it a couple of times, Russell. Hawaii may not even do that.
Right, June Jones is always talking about having a ball game where he never runs the football. He's come close a couple of times. I'll tell you, the interesting thing for Hawaii here tonight, or this afternoon here in Tuscaloosa, is to see how this Hawaii team, being in the season opener, will adjust to this crowd. This is the largest crowd ever to watch a game in the state of Alabama. As you mentioned, also the largest crowd ever to watch a University of Hawaii football game. And I got to tell you, it is loud up here in the press box. It's got to be even louder down there in the field. It'll be interesting to see how Hawaii adjusts.
Crimson Tide won the toss, deferred. Not a surprise that the Warriors want the football to start the ball game. New season and a new man kicking off. That's Lee Tiffin, who bangs it away. Coming down about the 2-yard line, Ross Dickerson will bring it back for the Warriors. Explodes out across the 30, cuts back out near midfield before he is finally ridden down. A dangerous return man who had a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown the very first time he ever touched it. A 48-yard return there, and not exactly what the Tide defense was hoping for. The Warriors have great starting field position as Colt Brennan, as we said, the preseason WAC Offensive Player of the Year, leads the offense out on the field. He only set 11 Hawaii records last year. Nate Alawa lines up next to him in the backfield as they will start in the shotgun. First throw of the night, a little wide, but a great diving grab.
Ross Dickerson coming up with the catch. You got to feel good for him. He's coming back off last year, did not play at all because of injuries and some academic issues, but he's out there now and looking good.
Quick look at the Hawaii offense. Talented offensive line. Samson Satele, really the veteran, first team all-WAC, a captain, but he's moving from guard to center. Aloha, the running back, he may not touch it very often tonight. Brennan gives it to Aloha on the shovel pass. Tripped up around the 35-yard line, maybe by that 35-yard line. Matt Collins will be credited with the stop for Alabama, but not before Aloha takes it down to around the 33-yard line. The Alabama defense trying to pick up where they left off last year, leading the nation in 5 different categories. Gilberry, Clark, Lee, and Saunders across the front. Alabama linebackers trying to fill some mighty big shoes. It is Simpson, Collins, and Terrence Jones out there, and an untested secondary with the exception of Ramsey Robinson. Second and short, another shovel pass to Aloha. Upended inside the 30. They'll mark him down. Say his knee touched around the 28-yard line, but that should be enough for another Hawaii first down.
And I want to correct myself real quickly. I said Ross Dickerson was out last year. Jason Rivers was out, but Ross Dickerson still with a good couple opening plays and made Aloha on the shuttle pass essentially for Hawaii. This is their running game right here. That little quick give up the middle. It counts as a pass in the stat book, but it goes down as a running play for all intents and purposes.
Warriors had success running it against Alabama in the last meeting. That was a concern for Joe Kynes, Tide defensive coordinator. Quick throw, catch made, tripped up by Jeffrey Dukes. Devon Bess hauls that pass in. Another good pickup on first down.
To this point, Alabama has shown nothing but a 3-man front, but one thing that they will do out of that front, they'll bring linebackers from the outside and also from the middle, so they can take a 3-man front, all of a sudden turn it into a 4- and 5-man rush.
Brennan, 6'3", 196-pound junior out of Irvine, California. He's bounced around a couple of places, but has certainly found a home under Coach June Jones in Hawaii. Second down. Guns that one over the middle, off the hands of Devon Bess. It incomplete. A couple of guys in crimson jerseys had a shot at it, but nobody could make the play, and it brings up third down. Terrence Jones had the coverage, senior from Tuscaloosa County. Bess thinking he probably should have made that play. Third down. A long 4 for the Warriors at the Alabama 22. Opening possession of the ball game. They'll run it with Aloha. He's hit and goes down for a loss. They'll say his knee touched back at the 25-yard line. The ball came free, but the officials have already marked him down. A running play, an honest-to-goodness running play by the Warriors that loses a couple of yards back to the 25-yard line. That'll bring up fourth down. Alabama thinking they'd come away with a turnover. But you see the knee touched back at the 25-yard line.
Good call there by the officials. Here a little surprise. Get down close on the 25-yard line. That Y's not going to try and go for it on 4th and 6 or 7, opting instead to kick a field goal.
Dan Kelly checks in, 10 out of 15 a season ago, a 42-yarder, plenty of leg, and right down the middle. And the Warriors take advantage of that good starting field position after the good return by Ross Dickerson. They settle for 3, but they lead 3-0 over the Crimson Tide.
David Gray and Stacy Ogle. David Gray and Stacy Ogle. Please report immediately to the southeast corner of the end zone. The southeast corner of the end zone, David Gray and Stacy Ogle. Kids make plans now to join us next summer for the 25th anniversary on Space Camp. To book your section now, summer 2007. www.spacecamp.com.
Warriors score on their opening possession of the night, leading 3-0, 11:31 to play. Dan Kelly set to kick off. Javier Arenas and Terry Grant, a couple of freshmen back deep for Alabama. That is Arenas awaiting around his own 2-yard line. Kelly drives it deep around the 2-yard line. Here is Arenas. Tripped over his own man. Jimmy Johns upended Arenas around the 20-yard line. They'll spot it officially at the 21, and that's where John Parker Wison and the Alabama offense will start the 2006 season. John Parker last year, 7 out of 11, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, and 1 touchdown rushing. The sophomore out of Hoover, making his first start. Mike Shula talked earlier this week. He remembers the night before his first start. Tyler Watts will ask you about that in just a moment. I would imagine it's a fairly sleepless night. First play, a running play. Kenneth Darby slips a couple of tacklers and takes it out to around the 24-yard line. A look at the Alabama offense, kind of a revamped offensive line. Chris Capps, left tackle last year, gets the start tonight at right tackle. Stabler, Caldwell, who made the move to center before the Cotton Bowl last year. Justin Britt making the move from the defensive line, and Andre Smith, the true freshman. Darby and McClain in the backfield. Brown and Hall expected as the wideouts, and Travis McCall gets the start at tight end. Brown is the motion man. First throw for Wilson. It is behind Matt Caddell just a little bit, but he's able to reel it in. Nice throw and catch. That, Tyler Watts, may settle the nerves just a little bit.
Just a simple, quick 3-step drop that time for John Parker Wison, but doing a nice job with his eyes. Looks to the left, and as you said, finds Caddell. 2 years ago, Caddell has a hard time bringing that ball in, so you can see the improvement that he has made.
Defensively for Hawaii, they would love some improvement from last year. They gave up a bundle of yards and a bundle of points on the season, but a very athletic group that loves to blitz under coordinator Jerry Glanville. Here's Darby, straight up the gut, out across the 40, near the 43-yard line. A pickup of 9 on first down for Kenneth Darby. Leonard Peters credited with the stop there, but Russell, that's not a good sign for the Jerry Glanville defense early in a ball game.
No, this defense is notorious for giving up lots of yards on the ground. And Ken Darby, we all know about what he brings to the party, and he's off to a good start. The Warriors need to keep him under control if they're going to have a shot here tonight.
Kenneth, the lone setback on 2nd and 1. Now McClain joins him in the eye. They'll give it to the fullback, who cuts back and finds some daylight into Warrior territory around the 42-yard line. More than enough for an Alabama first down. McClain, the 257-pound senior fullback from right here in Tuscaloosa.
Several question marks already being answered here early for this Alabama offense. As you said, Andre Smith, his first start at left tackle, doing a nice job driving his block defender all the way inside. As you said, leaves McClain wide open on the outside.
First down, Alabama at the Hawaii 42. Wilson wants to throw again. Deep ball down the side. Brown goes up and reels it in. What a catch around the 20-yard line by Keith Brown. No signs of nerves so far for John Parker Wilson.
The old adage is there's no substitute for speed, but in the case of a jump ball, there's no substitute for height. Keith Brown doing an excellent job of tracking the ball in, and as you can say, nice concentration, keeping his feet in.
Quick snap by Alabama after the great grab by Keith Brown. Kenneth Darby, a running play for a pickup of a couple.
And here's a quick note. 3 years ago, you wouldn't have seen that happen right now, but now with instant replays, and any time that a play is questionable, you'll see the offense is hurrying up to get another snap.
Replay, one of the rules changes this year. We can touch on that a little bit later on. Alabama with an impressive drive going here. 2nd and 8. Its first possession of the year. Brown, the motion man, and the give to Darby. Over the left side, Kenneth carries it inside the 15, around the 14-yard line. Leonard Peters, the free safety, another stop for the Warriors. Another captain for the second year in a row is Leonard Peters. He's one of the guys, Russell, that has been banged up in his career, but gets a bit of a break from the NCAA.
And he's one of those guys also that plays with a reckless abandon. He tends to knock himself out of ball games a little bit by going in head first, but that's his style of play. He likes to bring it, and did a good job right there.
3rd and 4 for Alabama. Wilson to throw. He dumps it off short underneath, looking for McClain. A little bit low. Laron unable to haul that one in. Brings up 4th down. We mentioned him briefly. He handled the kickoff. The true freshman Lee Tiffin handling the kicking duties tonight. Jamie Christensen a little banged up the last couple of weeks in practice. And Tiffin, the true freshman from Red Bay, Alabama, son of Van Tiffin, getting the start tonight. A 31-yard field goal attempt by Tiffin. Right down the middle for the Tide. Each team one possession, each team a field goal. 7:18 to play in the first quarter. Not a big surprise. Each team has scored 3-3. Our score, 7:18 to play in the first quarter. We send it downstairs. Our Cooks Pest Control sideline reporter is Chris Stewart.
Hey guys, there are a lot of tough, large men on the playing field at Bryant-Denny Stadium today. When it comes to toughness, I'll take the lady over my shoulder. Meg Ingram, a sophomore at the University of Alabama, member of the cheerleading squad from Huntsville. Less than a month ago, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor. It was removed. It's malignant. The doctors feel good about the prognosis, though. She will start treatments this week in Birmingham. The young lady is here cheering for the University of Alabama. They didn't think she would be here in Tuscaloosa for maybe another 6 months. She's out on the field cheering for the Tide here in the opener.
Dedication for the Crimson Tide. A wonderful story, and we certainly wish Meg the very, very best in her battle with cancer.
Ross Dickerson and Kenny Patton being received for Hawaii. Saturday editions for big with Comcast digital cable. More than 200 channels, including high definition and on demand. Watch what you want, when you want. Comcast today.
Each team a possession, each team a field goal to start the ball game. Asked Mike Shuley earlier this week, does it make him feel old to be coaching a player, the son of a guy he played with, Van Tiffin. High kickoff at the goal line. Kenny Patton this time. Curls out across the 20 as markers come down. He's ridden out of bounds around the 22-yard line. And this one will come back.
Andrew Friedman made the tackle.
Brennan and the Hawaii offense not
holding
the starting
the
position
receiving
this time.
team, number 10. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Told you 11 Hawaii records set by Colt Brennan last year. He led the nation in total offense, touchdown passes, passing yards per game. And he was 4 or 5 on the opening drive for the Warriors. But they're backed up deep in the wrong part of Bryant-Denny Stadium if you're the visitor. Time for Brennan to the far side, high and incomplete, off the hands of Devon Bess.
As you see a flag down on the field, something right there we have not seen from June Jones, not in the time that I've been watching. His team actually lined up with a tight end that time. Reagan Mauia, the backup tailback.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, number 34 in the offense. Half the distance to the goal. It will be second down.
Unfortunately, the man Russell just mentioned, Reagan Mauia, guilty of the personal foul.
One of the most difficult things in football, the contact sports, very aggressive sport, is being able to keep your cool and keep calm after the play.
That was kind of a ticky-tack foul, but Hawaii cannot let their emotions get the best of them here today. Alabama's a talented team. They got to keep it on the field and get it done.
Step off, takes it back to around the 6-yard line. Ilawa out across the 20, gets the penalty back and a lot more. He will have a Hawaii first down. First game of the year. Coordinators always like to throw in some new wrinkles, and already certainly some we've seen from Hawaii.
And Reagan Maui had a game last year, Hawaii's second game of the season at Michigan State. He had a bunch of personal fouls, let his temper get away from him in that ball game. Almost cost his team here, but Nate Ilawa sort of bails him out with a nice run right there.
Ilawa moving from a slot receiver position last year. Another sixth-year player for the Warriors. He gives them a first down at their own 24. Shovel pass again to Ilawa. Eludes one tackler, takes it out across the 30. Another good pickup before Marcus Carter, the junior, making his first start for the Crimson Tide as free safety, makes the tackle. Tyler, this is a little reminiscent to me of Steve Spurrier, 92 SEC championship game. Little shovel pass, as Russell said, it works a lot like a running play.
Very effective, especially when you hadn't seen it a whole lot. Both teams really just trying to fill each other out here early in the first quarter.
Second down and 3. Mawia, the running back, alongside Brennan. Rifles that one to the far side, and Best can't hang on. Like he might have turned to run with it before he looked it in, and that'll bring up a third down.
And Devon Best, usually one of those receivers that catches everything that's thrown in his neighborhood, but maybe the nerves getting to him a little bit in front of a big 92,000 strong crowd. He's had a couple of balls come at him that he should have hung on to. That time he lets one get away, gives his team a third down and about 3 here.
And Alabama really avoiding a bullet that time. Brought pressure from the short field. If Best does haul that in, he picks up the first down easily.
Joe Kynes in his 40th year coaching. Defensive coordinator for the Tide wants his unit to come up with a stop here on 3rd and 3. Another quick throw to Best. Bama ready for it and drops him right at the line of scrimmage, the 31. And that'll bring up 4th down. Marcus Carter there again, making the play defensively for Alabama.
Beautiful job that time by Marcus Carter. Open field tackle, one of the most difficult things for a defensive back to do. Does a nice job of wrapping up and just holding on as Best is unable to get away.
Kurt Milne, senior, out of Roswell, Georgia, to punt it away. Low, wobbly kick. Alabama will run away from it. They'll touch it down around the 38-yard line with 4:42 to play in this first quarter. A 3-3 game. Ask Mike Shula about the night before his first start. Tyler Watts, you've suffered through, or maybe not suffered through that night. What was it like knowing that next day, your first start?
I think just about every emotion runs through you. Nervousness, excitement, all of the above.
High formation for Alabama. Jimmy Johns checks into the game and gets the handoff. Explodes over the left side into Hawaii territory, ridden out of bounds at the 44-yard line by Leonard Peters once again. Jimmy Johns, the sophomore from Brookhaven, Mississippi, Mr. Football in that state in 2004, making the transition from quarterback to running back and making the transition pretty well.
And has done a great job. First showed up here at the capstone as a wedge buster on special teams, has now mixed into the running back scenario, and when anytime that a 227-pound running back gets his hands on the ball in open field, it's very difficult to bring him down.
First down, Alabama. Deep drop for Wilson. He will step up, get what he can, take it to around the 41-yard line, and another late flag comes in. Wilson with the sliding stop, and then Hawaii came in and hit him late. And that's
Personal foul, helmet-to-helmet contact, number 44 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Adam Leonard, sophomore out of Seattle. This is a dimension that John Parker Wison brings that Brody Coyle really didn't have, Tyler.
And he only picks up 4 yards, but does a great job. And interesting call right here. The quarterback is the only person on the field that's going to get this call right here. A helmet to the helmet. Quarterback's the only guy that's going to get a personal foul.
And you have no problem with
I have absolutely no problem. It's a great call by the referee.
It does give Alabama a first down at the Hawaii 26. Johns once again straight ahead running this time around the 22-yard line. Under 4 minutes to play in this first quarter.
I don't know if you can make it out on TV, but when this Johns gets the football from up here in the press box, I mean, he just looks like a load running through the hole with his size 6'3", 227. As you mentioned, he's a low, but he's also got that long stride.
Very long stride.
And he looks good going up the middle right there.
One of about 6 running backs that conceivably will touch the ball at some point this season for Alabama. Give to Johns again. Ducks his head. Powers inside the 20-yard line. He'll be about 3 yards shy of the first down. Leonard Peters, another stop for the Warriors as we hit the 3-minute mark of the first quarter.
Alabama really showing what they're wanting to do coming into tonight's contest. Give the ball deep to their backs, allow them to find the holes up the middle, and really and truly, the most impressive part of this Alabama offense to this point has been the play of the offensive lineman, doing a great job moving the line of scrimmage, opening up little seams for the running backs to get through.
3rd and 3. Johns, the lone setback. Gets it again. Takes a lick. Powers inside the 15-yard line and will move the chains once more. 38 carries, right at 200 yards a year ago, but no touchdowns. As a freshman, he is starting to smell that end zone here.
And football has changed so much in the last 15 years. Used to, you try to open up a hole at a specific point. Now, with the zone block concept coming in, give the ball to the running back, allow him to make his own hole.
Timeout taken by Alabama. John Parker Wison spins a timeout, stops the clock with 2:10 to play in this opening period. And so far, gentlemen, I assume kind of according to the script we all thought we would see in this ball game. The Warriors attack what we thought it would be. Alabama, at least at this point, has just been a little more successful implementing its game plan.
Yeah, Alabama's done a great job at this point, really doing what they wanted to, just run the ball, try to find the weaknesses, these kinks in this Hawaii defense. Honestly, quite surprised, though, that this Hawaii defense, as big as they are, as physical as they are, has given up quite so much yardage on the ground.
That's just gut check time for Hawaii, and they're notorious for giving up yards on the ground. They gave up, played a road game at La Tech last year, gave up a lot of yards in that ball game. You know, Jerry Glanville, the Hawaii defensive coordinator, would love to see his team improve as far as stopping the run, but like you said, with the bevy of running backs that Alabama has, the game plan for them had to be coming in, especially with a new starting quarterback, would be to hand it off and see what the tailbacks can do. And right now, they seem to be getting the job done against this Hawaii defense.
Jerry Glanville and June Jones, excuse me, longtime friends. It is the 6th stadium expansion since it was built back in 1929. Actually, $54 million they spent on this project. But I tell you what, if you're an Alabama fan or a football fan, period, it was money well spent. First down, Alabama after the timeout from the Hawaii 14. John still in there, takes one lick, slips a tackle, finally ridden down. Just shy of the 5-yard line, giving 9 yards on that gallop on first down. And running left, once again, Tyler Watts behind that true freshman.
Had a great hold that time, and really give a lot of credit that time. Number 44, that's Adam Leonard for Hawaii. He's making a touchdown saving tackle. Really came out of nowhere. If he doesn't make that tackle, Johns walks in for 6.
Jimmy Johns catching his breath. Tim Castile, as he did so often last year, checks in near the goal line. He'll get it. Duck his head. and move it forward to right around the 5-yard line. Castile was the touchdown hog last year. Some of the running backs would get all the yardage, but Castile grabbed most of the touchdowns. He scores one every 7.5 attempts, and he was Bama's leading touchdown producer last year with 7.
There's a look at Mel Purcell. Hawaii defensive ends played through all kinds of injuries, but he's hoping for a big senior season for Hawaii.
3rd and 1 for Alabama. The jumbo package. Castile tries to keep those legs churning, but I'm not sure. Looks like he may have come up about a half a yard shy. And a decision for Mike Shula. He will have the luxury of a little extra time to think about it. That will be the last play of the first quarter. They are going to bring the chains on and measure, but I do think he's a little bit short.
Not a whole lot of places for Castile to run that time. Trying to just squeeze his way through. Only had to get to the 4-yard line. Very stubborn Hawaiian defensive line does a great job.
And indeed, about a half yard shy. And Mike Shula looking at the clock, realizing the quarter will end before Alabama has to snap it. He can weigh his options during the break.
Much more difficult call on this play than one might think. Opportunity obviously to punch it in for 6 and establish yourself on top. But then again, if you can think back a few years, Alabama found itself in a very similar situation versus Tennessee and was denied the touchdown.
Jerry Glanville hoping his bunch can make one more stop if that is necessary. We'll have to wait and see. We played 1 quarter in Tuscaloosa. Beautiful night for football, and so far a good football game. 3-3 after 1.
They're going for
The
it.
offense comes out. Looking at 4th and about a half a yard at the Warriors' 5-yard line.
And Hawaii is one of those defenses feeds off emotion. They need to be careful of the misdirection right here.
Three tight ends. Castile dives forward and will have the first down. Mike Shula having confidence in that revamped offensive line. Three tight ends, the jumbo and then some package, and Tim Castile able to spin down to the 3 for the first down.
And right behind your true freshman left tackle. Shows how much confidence this Alabama coaching staff has in their offensive line, and especially in the young talent that they have brought in.
Impressive drive for Alabama's offense here, trying to cash it in. Castile one more time, slips outside and walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. And once again, the senior from Briarwood Christian comes on and is able to finish off a drive for Alabama. Lee Tiffin on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of P.J. Fitzgerald, the redshirt freshman. Tied mighty young on special teams. Tiffin nails the extra point, and 30 seconds in to the second quarter here in Tuscaloosa. Alabama extends its lead 10-3 over Hawaii after Tim Castile finds pay dirt.
61 yards, 10 plays. 3-yard touchdown run. Tim Castile.
That's it.
Stop by your participating Mazda dealers. Test drive Mazda CX-70 is never saw coming. While you're there, register to win the Mazda Ultimate Fan Experience. November 18th, visit your local Mazda dealer. And Ross Dickerson to receive for Hawaii.
Quick check of our Golden Flake first quarter stats. Updated 30 seconds in to the second quarter. Alabama with the 10-3 lead, outgaining the Warriors 111-51 so far. Patton and Dickerson awaiting around their goal line. Crimson Tide two for two possessions and 2 scores. It'll be Dickerson at the 4. Takes it out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. There's Tim Castile. Another look at the touchdown. We told you he was the greedy one last year. He would come in and finish off those drives.
And anyone could come in and walk in the end zone like Castile did if you have the lead block of the one that LaRon McClain just threw. Nothing fancy, nothing trickery, just hard-nosed football.
So the Warriors start this drive at their own 26. Direct snap to Aloha, who fumbles the football. Still loose. And Alabama's got it. June Jones trying a little trickery. The direct snap to Aloha. But Alabama able to jar it loose. And Prince Hall, I believe, the man that recovered it.
A lot of pressure that time. There you see it from the outside. Ezekiel Knight transferred over from the offensive unit, doing a great job of stripping the ball. Looked like Hawaii came up with it initially, but as you saw, the ball continued to fall around on the ground before Alabama recovered.
So the Tide in business. Turnover, something Hawaii cannot afford.
Especially not in front of the student section on this end of the field, that close to the goal line. They'll just kill them every time.
Take over at the Hawaii 28-yard line. Brown, the motion man. Wilson swings it out to Castile. Carries tacklers inside the 20-yard line. He is very close to another Alabama first down, and he will have it. Pickup of 11.
First down, Alabama.
And again, a nice, safe throw for John Parker.
Yeah, but here's what nobody sees. A lot of commotion, a lot of confusion there at the beginning of that play. But John Parker Wison doing a great job lining everybody up, snapped that ball with 1 second left on the play clock in order to get it off.
Tide shifts the formation again on first down. Darby back in there, dotting the I. The give to McClain. Takes a pop and squirts far to about the 14-yard line. Solomon Elamimian, sophomore from Los Angeles, credited with that stop. Number 2 tackler last year on this Warrior defense. Tide trying to take advantage of the first turnover of the evening. They've got it at the Warriors' 14-yard line, looking at 2nd and 7. Wilson rifles that one in traffic and incomplete. Matt Caddell was there, but could not make the catch. And that looked like a pretty good throw from John Parker Wilson. A lot of talk about, does he have the arm strength of Brody Croyle? No, not many people do, but he had some zip on that ball.
You don't have to be able to throw it through a brick wall in order to complete a pass. There's been plenty of great ones that have just put it where it needs to be. And you're going to see that on both sides of the field here tonight.
Bama 1 out of 3 on third down. They need 7 yards here to move the chains. Blitz comes. Wilson unloads. Back of the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Keith Brown.
John Parker Wilson's pass intended for
A little too tall for Keith Brown, who's already made one leaping grab tonight. The pressure came, and Wilson unloaded just a little bit high.
Well, Hawaii left the middle of the field wide open that time, and it was up to Martinez to make a defensive play for Hawaii. The throw was in the neighborhood at least.
A.J. Martinez with the good coverage, and that'll bring Lee Tiffin back out to try a 31-yard field goal. The freshman doinks it off the upright. Plenty of leg, and the upright might stop shaking by the time we come back. Bama unable to capitalize on the turnover. It remains 10-3.
problem.
Get your team on your terms with CSS. Catch a replay of today's game on Sunday at 3. And don't miss the Mike Show Fridays at 3:30. Alabama football is on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
June Jones breathing a sigh of relief. His offense turned it over. His defense came through, though, and it remains a 10-3 Alabama lead. Warriors start this drive from their 20. Bad snap from the shotgun. Brennan tripped up, sacked, back at the 16-yard line. Prince Hall, who recovered the fumble, credited with that sack, but that play was blown up from the very beginning.
Well, this is a huge drive for Hawaii. I mean, this could be a tone setter for the entire season. Alabama's got the turnover deep in territory. The field goal goes off the upright. The first play on the drive to answer is with a bad snap after a timeout. That's not good for Hawaii. They need to put something together and do it right now.
And sometimes you will see a center go ahead and try to start pass blocking before the ball kind of clears his rear end area, and I think that's exactly what happened that time.
Second down and 15. Brennan looking in trouble. Spins away from the trouble, unloads deep, and incomplete. Well, that's a heady play by Colt Brennan. He was running for his life, but he lives to have a third down.
He's playing with fire, definitely, by scrambling that deep in the end zone right there. I mean, this is what makes him the quarterback that he is, but sometimes this can come back to bite you. This time he survives it and lives to throw on another down. But Samson Sateli, the Hawaii center, you're talking about having issues with the snap. He's making the move over. This is his first game as a center for Hawaii, so I'm sure he's still trying to come to terms with what he has to do and still call out the pass protection calls.
Started all 39 games of his career, but the first at center, third and long. Brennan steps up, rifles that one, deflected and incomplete. Intended for Jason Rivers, a little bit behind him, and a quick 3 and out for the Warriors offense.
That's exactly what Hawaii cannot have if they're going to have success here tonight. They need to get some momentum, and the crowd now starting to get into it.
Kurt Milne bangs it away. A beautiful kick this time. Simeon Castile bobbles it, but reels it in at his own 35-yard line. Clock stopped with 10:27 to play in the first half, with Alabama on top 10-3. One of the rules changes this year. John Parker Wison will get the play from Mike Shula, but as soon as the official says we're ready to play and blows the whistle, not only does the 25-second clock begin, the game clock now starts as well, trying to speed things up just a little bit.
Yeah, and a lot more confusing well, we perceive it to be more confusing than it actually is, but it has already come into play this season. We saw it with South Carolina and Mississippi State at the end of the first half, not having more time to get more plays off.
Jimmy John's back in there, galloping over the left side, fumbles it out of bounds. But they will mark him out around the 47-yard line. Leonard Peters chases him out, but not before I believe he will have an Alabama first down. Nope, they'll spot it back where he fumbled it. And they'll bring the chains out, just a couple of feet to measure it. Fumbled it forward, more than enough for a first down, but they bring it back to the spot where he fumbled it.
Once again, just another nice hole that time for Jimmy Johns to run through.
Averaging better than 8 yards a carry. And this is a Hawaii defense, Russell, that spent a fair amount of time out on the field here in the first half.
Yeah, Colt Brennan's a playmaker, but can't make plays when you're out there on the bench. Alabama's controlled the football here in the first part of this ball game, and Jerry Glanville, Hawaii defensive coordinator, some concern. Needs to see his defense come up and make a play right there on the second and very short for Alabama.
Some things don't change. He's still the man in black. Second and inches, and Alabama really widening the gap in yardage, but still just the 7-point lead. That play goes nowhere. Tide will lose almost 2 yards as Kenneth Darby was met and pushed back by a wall of white jerseys. Ikaika Alama Francis credited with the stop, but he had a lot of help there.
And that's a tall order for a guy like Darby. Starts the ball game, gets some carries, and he leaves for a bunch of minutes. Now he has to get back in and grab a quick feel for the game, and Hawaii comes up with a defensive stop there. See if they can get another one here on 3rd and 1.
Well, Hawaii's also depending heavily on the secondary to come up and make tackles at the line of scrimmage. Alabama's noticing that, I'm sure, and will make an adjustment. Look for them to go downfield shortly.
Wilson swings it out, but a little high and wide of his mark, looking for LaRon McClain. Goes incomplete. And Alabama will send P.J. Fitzgerald out for the first time tonight as the punter. He's been the holder, but now punts for the first time, the redshirt freshman.
As a quarterback, sometimes someone can be so wide open that they're covered. All you can see is green all the way in front of them, and that can be the most difficult pass, especially on a 3rd and short.
C.J. Hawthorne back deep. Fitzgerald hits a beautiful kick, gets it to turnover, checks up at the 5, rolling to the 1. "55-yard punt for Fitzgerald, the redshirt freshman out of Coral Springs, Florida. The snap was not exactly perfect, but it didn't bother Fitzgerald at all.
It's one of the joys of having natural turf, huh? Kills the punt.
Beautiful spiraling end over end, and as you can see, when you can get the nose of the football to come over, it will stop like that.
Marquise Johnson downing it at the 1. Yep, if we're in Honolulu, that may have bounced all the way into the seats.
And if you don't think that punts are a very important part of this game, look at the situation Hawaii is now faced with.
Tide really able to pin Hawaii deep, starting from their 1. Brennan, plenty of time to the near side. Bess makes the grab, stops, shakes one man, and finally chased out of bounds. Just shy of the 15-yard line. That's a good pickup on first down, and it gives the Warriors a little breathing room.
Well, you can't state enough how tough it is to throw out of this end zone with the students right behind the play, and they're close in that part of the ballpark. And Colt Brennan just stayed back there, kept his head on, got the completion out to Bess.
Best leading receiver last year for the Warriors. 7 100-yard receiving games a year ago. Quick throw to the far side, but a little wide and incomplete, looking for Ryan Grice Mullen. That's the first time we've called his name tonight. Bess has been the main target for Colt Brennan so far.
Hearing the quote from the Alabama locker room earlier in this week, they know that Hawaii is going to complete a lot of passes, but where they feel Hawaii is more dangerous than just whether or not they complete the pass is what they do with it afterwards. That is really where the talent of this wide receiver corps comes into play. Very quick, very fast, and as we saw Bess earlier, able to elude a lot of tackles.
Bess and Grice Mullen, 2 1,000-yard receivers a season ago. That's a first for Hawaii. Brennan in trouble. Steps up, shows his mobility there. Eluding a sack and picking up about 3 yards. That's one of the similarities between these two quarterbacks, is they can both use those legs and get out of some trouble and make something happen.
And for head coach June Jones, I think he would admit that for his taste, Brennan pulls it down sometimes a little too quick, looking to bail out of the pocket. He'd like him to go through his progressions more, but when you're the gunslinger type of quarterback that Brennan is, you go with what works. And he managed to get some yards right there on second down.
3rd and 7. Quick throw by Brennan, flags down, ball deflected and goes incomplete.
There's no play before the snap. Ball starts. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Danu Pereza, senior from Oahu, academic all-WAC performer a couple of years ago, came out of the stance a little too soon.
Doesn't take much. Not much at all.
And boy, here's something that Hawaii cannot do in this ball game. They've been doing it all game long, and that's miss on receptions and back the ball up into the air. It's just a matter of time before Alabama gets one of those. Hawaii needs to limit that.
4th flag against the Warriors tonight. Now 3rd and 12. Shovel pass again to Ilawa. Out to the 25, spins forward near the 26, and that'll be good for a 1st down. Lionel Mitchell, backup cornerback for the Tide, finally makes the stop. Safe play, but an effective play for the Warriors, and they pick up the 1st down.
And if you watch this, it looks like he was going to get tackled short of the 1st down, got hit from behind, and knocked the head right there. That's all he needed. That's all he got. I'm sure Hawaii will take it.
Well, another thing you also have to also take into account, he weighs 254 pounds. It's not like you can just run up to him.
Brennan started the night 4 for 4. He's 5. Completed only 5 passes since then. The give to Ilawa. Tiptoeing through the line, out across the 30. He'll pick up nearly 5 on 1st down. Ilawa, senior out of Stafford, Virginia, averaging about 7.5 yards a carry. As Tyler mentioned, there aren't many guys lining up to tackle him at 5'9", 254.
And he's a converted wide receiver.
Moves extremely well. It's very impressive to watch this Hawaii backfield. Once they do get the ball, what they're able to do with it.
Reagan Mawia checks in. He's 6 foot, 296, and he's dropped 50 pounds, a converted defensive lineman. Brennan in trouble, throws it away, and here comes the flag for intentional grounding. Terrence Jones had him wrapped up. Brennan tried to unload it, but Jeff Roberson said, nope, that's grounding.
In the last 2 plays, we've seen Alabama really come after Hawaii, putting a lot of pressure, as we talked about with that 3-man front, starting to bring the linebackers, give a lot of different looks. Here you see the inside linebackers crossing, Hawaii unable to pick it up.
Penalty is to place the ball at the spot of the
Brennan
foul.
trying to get outside that tackle box. He gets outside that tackle box. It's not an intentional grounding.
Terrence Jones had him wrapped up.
And the loss of down.
But the credit goes right there. Different looks, making it a little more difficult for the Hawaii front 5.
Senior out of Tuscaloosa checks out on 3rd and 17. Brennan runs into trouble, loses the football, picked up by Ilawa. He'll be smothered right around the line of scrimmage. Boy, that was very nearly total disaster for the Warriors, but a heads-up play by Nate Ilawa saving the day for the time being, and the Warriors will punt it away. Zach Schreiber, redshirt freshman out of Shreveport. Bobbled snap by Milne. He's in trouble. Shovels it into the end zone. It is recovered for a touchdown.
Well, when it goes from bad, it goes from bad to worse for this Hawaii team, doesn't it?
Milne bobbled the snap, which got him in trouble. Trying to make a play, heads-up play, trying to throw it out of the back of the end zone. But Alabama able to fall on it just in the nick of time and turn it into a touchdown.
It looked like Hawaii sort of rushed the punt unit out there. They got that punt off real quick. And Milne kind of caught off guard, hits him in the hands. Didn't do anything with it. Cost his team a touchdown.
Alabama trying to get the extra point kicked before replay can take a look, but unable to do so. Jeff Roberson heads across. They will review it.
And the question is going to be, did Upchurch have possession with his feet in the end zone, which would enable it to be a touchdown, or was the ball out of control?
You see him try to shovel it out of the end zone. That's a heads-up play.
It's going to be a question of whether they're going to count his front shoulder out of bounds.
I will be surprised if this stands.
Really need the other angle from the other side in order to tell, but as you can see right there, it does look like the ball is still kind of bobbling around on that end line. So if they're looking at the same footage we are, more than likely this will be overturned.
Will either be a touchdown or a safety.
Well, Hawaii's already caught a couple of breaks. One of them, the field goal off the upright. If this one gets overturned, it's another break for them. They need to take those and run with it because they're not going to get many of those. Not in front of 92,000 people.
5:13 to play. Another look, and I think you'll notice the ball stays kind of loose, and then the hand and the arm, the right hand, the right arm go out of bounds.
But here's
able to reel it in.
Here's what was so impressive in the heads-up play by the Alabama cover unit. No pressure was intended to go on the punter. They recognized the ball was loose. It was on the ground. They come off of their blocks, are able to attack it and force, as we talked about, tried to force the safety, and were able to almost, as it appears, come up with a touchdown.
And Joe Delaney, our replay official, taking a look at it.
After review, there is video evidence that the player recovering the ball was out of bounds before recovery.
Here we go.
Instead of a touchdown, it is a safety.
Roy Upchurch wanted the 6. He'll have to settle for 2. So the Tide now leads it 12-3, and we'll get the football back when we return.
And it's time for the Alabama football trivia question. See if you know the answer. Which Alabama coach was the first to record
His front shoulder is out of bounds.
Was it A, Sid Scott, B,
But that's a lightning quick call right
or
there.
C, Wallace Wade? A, B, or C? What do you think? The correct answer is A. Coach Scott led Alabama to a 10-1 record in 1920, including 8 shutouts.
No legendary Alabama is bigger than all W points. Yes, a legendary coach, but he was also a great player
during his Crimson Tide career from 1933 to 35. He comes from the other end of those Bama teams, the other end, the superstar Alan Hudson. But Bryant was a second-team All-SEC selection in 1934, third team in 1955. Back in those days, only 11 players were picked with those All-Star squad. Bryant was one of the toughest to ever wear the Crimson and White. He played in the 35 Tennessee game with a broken leg and missed. Bama won, beating the Vols 25-0. That's Crimson Tide legend Sawyer Paul Bryant.
after the safety now. Bad news is you don't get a touchdown, you get a safety. The good news is the Alabama offense will get the ball right back with 5:13 to go in the first half. Dan Kelly set to boot it away. Javier Arenas ridden down right at the 45-yard line. So pretty good field position once again for the Alabama offense. A lot of youth, as we said, on the special teams in all phases. Punter, place kicker, and the return guys. And Javier Arenas certainly grabbed the coach's attention in the preseason. That's why he's out there tonight.
Well, one thing to note, now Alabama has their numbers back up. These freshmen aren't playing just out of pure necessity. They're playing because they're talented and they have the ability.
Tide has it. 4:45 and counting to play in the first half. Wilson trying to roll out of some trouble. Rifles that one incomplete. Looking for Keith Brown.
John Parker Wison's pass to Keith Brown, incomplete.
Brown did a nice job that time coming off his route, came back to the football. Parker held it just a hair long. A little indecisive if he wanted to run that one or go ahead and give it up.
Talented junior out of Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Number 2 receiver last year for the Tide. 2nd and 10. Powerful running once again by Jimmy Johns as he darts out across midfield. Takes it down to the 46 of Hawaii. Jacob Patek able to make the stop. Junior out of Victoria, Texas.
This Alabama offensive line is really dominating the line of scrimmage. As you can see Johns here go across. Might have landed on the ball or something, coming up a little slow. We'll sub to him out, but this Alabama line does an incredible job of giving these backs opportunities and allowing them to gain large chunks of yardage at a time.
They'll bring on the jumbo package. McClain in front of Castile on 3rd and 1. Castile tries to go outside, cuts it up instead. A good decision on his part, and he'll have the first down.
First down, Alabama.
45 carries last year, just 124 yards, but as we said, 7 touchdowns for Alabama. He is the short yardage specialist.
2 years ago, of course, having knee surgery. Don't know if you see that cut last year. You can tell that he's really rehabbed well, not wearing a knee brace, able to cut up and pick up first down.
He checks out. Darby back in there. Wilson with time, wants to go deep. That one kind of hanging up on him. Brown comes back and makes the catch inside the 10. He might even know where he is after a wicked shot.
He might not know where he is, but I'm sure his teammates will tell him. They're on the 8-yard line.
John Parker afraid that one was going to hang up a little too long.
As you said, Leonard is a headhunter. He is out there to kill somebody.
What a play by Brown, coming back to the football. Darby, 1st and goal from the 8. Nowhere to go, and he's dropped back at the 10 after a loss of 2.
Wilson gave up on that, tried to put too much air under it. All of a sudden, the receiver makes a nice adjustment. But the bad news is he stayed up long enough for Peters to get there.
Oof. Another look.
Yeah, he's a madman on the loose, is Leonard Peters. And he was sorely disappointed to blow his knee against SC in the season opener last year. And I tell you, throughout the state of Hawaii, you can hear the cheer when he got that extra year of eligibility.
120 tackles in 2004, really his only good year. Darby again keeps the legs churning. He'll take it down near the 6-yard line. Peters played against Alabama in 2003, had a fumble recovery. But another 6th-year man for the Warriors. Alabama now.
Hawaii's got a bunch of those 6-year guys. They all played against Tyler Watts.
I remember them all.
3rd and goal for Alabama. We're down to 90 seconds to play in the half. Tied on top, 12-3. Wilson buying himself some time. Will throw that one away. Once again, Alabama gets inside the red zone, but unable to find the end zone.
Yeah, they've been working on number 31 for Hawaii, Jacob Patek, making his first start. A brand new addition to this Hawaii football team, and he's taken himself out of a couple of plays tonight, and they went right at him there.
Good coverage that time. Heads up play by John Parker, though, throwing it away, and he gives Lee Tiffin a chance. Shot at a 23-yard field goal. He's 1 out of 2 so far tonight. Drills that one and extends Alabama's lead to 15-3.
And they actually throw the football back after a field goal here.
Yeah, not souvenirs here in Tuscaloosa, unfortunately.
Yeah, they'll hunt you down.
1:19 to play in the first half. And the Tide saw this a little bit last year, Tyler. Red zone success, not exactly what Mike Schuler would like it to be. They were 32 out of 42 scoring, but only 18 of those scores were touchdowns. Hoping to try and improve that percentage a little bit this year.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you're outside the 5-yard line, it's kind of no man's land. You don't really know what to do. You try to run it, just hope to break one for several yards and be able to cross the plane, or do you do what most people think you're going to do and try to throw it? Well, you're really limited because you don't have that much field to work with. It's really constricted down to a very difficult place to be on 3rd and goal.
But so big for the Warrior defense, they have kept Alabama out of that end zone.
Right. Those are the kind of points that Hawaii cannot afford to give up. Those 5 points, 2 off the safety, 3 off the ensuing free drive, so to speak. Alabama has enough talent that they can pick up points on their own. Hawaii does not need to give away points in that fashion right there.
But Hawaii doing a very nice job of holding Alabama to a field goal.
Andrew Friedman handling the kickoff duties now. Lee Tiffin, the opening kickoff. Friedman has done it ever since. Low, short kick. Dickerson at the 12. Up the sideline, ridden out of bounds. Across the 35, they'll mark it out right around the 36-yard line. So 1:08 to play in the half. All 3 timeouts for the Warriors, but Russell, they have not really gotten anything going since that initial drive.
Yeah, Colt Brennan has not had many chances. Hawaii offense not known for hanging on to the football, but it's what they need to do here. 1:06 left in the first half. Right now they need a quick score, but this Hawaii offense hasn't had many chances, many quality chances. Look at that, -10 yards passing for Hawaii. That is absolutely unheard of in this offense.
Swinging out near side to Bess. Darting out of bounds. Markers come in. That may be a face mask on the Crimson Tide. That'll stop the clock with 45 seconds. Jeffrey Dukes trying to chase him down. May have gotten a hand up around the face mask.
One thing you got to be concerned with if you're on the Alabama side is this. Hawaii might not have had great success.
5-yard penalty. Added on to the end of the run on the defense.
But
it will be first down.
At any time, they are capable of moving the ball. They're on that kickoff. Hawaii able to get all the way to the 35-yard line. Now with just a couple of throws, they're in scoring position.
Tack on 5 yards, and that'll move it into Bama territory at the 48. Shovel pass again to Ilawa. Eludes one man. Races down to the 30-yard line. Bumped out by Jeffrey Dukes, but once again the shovel pass causing some problems for the Tide, and the Warriors zipping down the field there at the Tide 31 with still 37 seconds to go.
The graphic earlier I said -10 yards passing was -10 yards rushing. This though goes down again. We'll say it again. Goes down as a pass play because of the shuttle pass, but it's for all intents and purposes Hawaii's bread and butter running play.
Ilawa checks out. Mawia comes in. First down. Brennan all day dumps it off short and incomplete off the hands of Ryan Grice Mullen. 30 seconds before intermission. And a 2nd and 10. Once again, looked like he may have been trying to run before he had it.
Yeah, Brennan just trying to get it to him before he got out of bounds. Wasn't able to set up his feet.
And no real rhythm so far for Colt Brennan. He has been trying to alter his plan a good bit already tonight. Give it to Mawia on the inside handoff down to the 25-yard line. And Hawaii will spend its first timeout, stopping the clock with 24 seconds to play in the half. The passing playbook is pretty thick. The running plays only a couple of pages, I would imagine, for Jude Jones.
And Hawaii fans will remember Reagan Mawia. Last year, he was at 360 pounds. He was basically a lean forward and pick up 3 yards kind of guy. He spent the offseason trimming down to an even 385, 290 that area. And he actually showed some moves right there. And Juwan Simpson is no small guy himself. He goes 222, some Mawia coming at him. But if he ever gets by those linebackers and those secondary people, see him coming at him.
Olay.
That's a tough order.
Rest assured they'll be going low.
Coming up at halftime, we'll give you a tour of the new north end zone here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Try and show you some of the $1 Million Band. And also a visit with Director of Athletics Mal Moore, who has been smiling nonstop for the last couple of days, and rightfully so. He'll visit with Chris Stewart down on the field. But 24 seconds to play here in the half, and the Warriors trying to make something happen. 15-3, Alabama leads it. Tide fans trying to help their defense right now. 3rd down and 5. Plenty of room to throw to the far side. It's broken up and incomplete. Ramsey Robinson in the neighborhood, but so was Jeffrey Dukes, and it may have been Dukes that got a hand on it to knock that ball away. No pressure that time on Brennan.
Nice job of coverage in the Alabama secondary, and as you can see there, it looks like it just went in and out of the wide receiver's hands, but nice job of swarming the football.
Ross Dickerson is the man that deflected it out of bounds, regrettably. For the Warriors, 18 seconds now to play in the half. And Hawaii spends its 2nd timeout as June Jones and Colt Brennan talk things over.
Well, that's a lot of dropped passes for Hawaii tonight. In this offense, when you're living and dying by the pass, you just cannot have those. And Hawaii's had a bunch of those tonight. Devon Best, has dropped a couple. Grice Mullen did, Ross Dickerson did on that play. Granted, that was a tough catch to make. But in hostile territory like this, in SEC country in front of 92,000, you got to make plays, and that was one of them that Hawaii needed.
Farthest east Hawaii has been under June Jones. They played in East Lansing last year. But this trip for Hawaii, round trip about 9,400 miles, and they're estimating about 25 travel hours coming and going.
And a bunch of frequent flyer miles. It's going to get worse for Hawaii in a couple of years. They go to Florida to open up at a place that you guys know a little bit about down in Gainesville. That's going to be another behemoth of a trip.
How far as you guys can go?
How far from here to Gainesville?
A couple hours in the air, probably what, 6 hours or so if you try and drive it. I think
good distance. Well, now you know how the rest of us feel coming out there to see y'all.
Hey, Hawaii does it every trip.
There are no easy road trips for Hawaii.
They could fly to San Diego State, the closest point of San Jose State, and they're on the plane for 5 hours to and back. So they know all about those travel miles.
They'd give anything to ride on the bus.
4th down, June Jones changes his mind. They're going to go for it. Brennan flushed, runs into his own man and goes down. Right around the original line of scrimmage. 11 seconds to play in the half, but just nowhere for Brennan to go that time.
Alabama dropping everybody into coverage. As you can see, only 3 defensive linemen on the rush. Brennan trying to step up and just doesn't have anywhere to go. That is the right call, though, for this Hawaii offense. They have to go for it on that 4th down.
And especially against a 3-man rush. When you start to feel the pocket close in around you, that's a clear sign that you can take off because everybody's back in coverage.
Quickly, we'll send it down, try and get a word from head coach Mike Shula.
You know, where we one time we didn't get a score and the other time we had to settle for 3. We need to make touchdowns against this football team because they're so potent on offense.
All right, Coach, thanks.
That's our Tom Roberts. Quick word with Mike Shula, and exactly what we thought he would say. Alabama's had a lot of opportunities, but unable to take full advantage. They do, however, take a lead into the locker room. 15-3. Alabama leads the Warriors at intermission. More from Bryant Denny in Tuscaloosa in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the meeting for our special presentation. Each year, University of Alabama Alumni Association recognizes and honors a foreign athlete who has distinguished himself personally.
12-point lead for the Crimson Tide at intermission. Quick look at just some of the first half highlights. And Russell, both sides got off to a good start. First possession of the ball game. Both teams moved it well, but eventually had to settle for field goals.
Nate Lawa did a good job of getting some yardage out of that shuttle pass, but as you said, Hawaii settles for a field goal on this opening drive. Then Bama answers.
Got the running game going early. John Parker Wison, a couple of nice throws to maybe settle the nerves. A great grab by Keith Brown. And Lee Tippett, the freshman, nodding things, 3 apiece. Alabama, probably the edge in statistics. Dominated those statistics, actually, but has to settle for the 12-point lead despite some great running by Jimmy Johns. Castile one more time, slips outside and walks. Tim Castile, the only touchdown of the first half. And another great catch by Keith Brown, and did he pay for it? But despite the good plays, Alabama has to settle for a 12-point lead, 15-3. Quick look at our halftime stats brought to you by Charter Business. The rushing yardage way in Alabama's favor. Total yardage as well. Second half underway. Crimson Tide will get the football to start the second half. A touchback. Javier Arenas takes a knee in the end zone, and Alabama will start at its own 20-yard line. David Crane, Tyler Watts, Russell Yamanoha, and Chris Stewart. Glad to have you with us here tonight on Crimson Tide pay-per-view season opener here in 2006. John Parker Wilson's first start for Alabama, and starting quarterbacks for the Tide last several years fared pretty well. 9-4 in their first start since 1991. 4 out of 10 in the first half. He'll throw to start the second half. Wide open Darby coming out of the backfield. Out across the 25 near the 27-yard line. Good pickup on first down, and John Parker takes a shot after he dumps that one off.
Great way. Tyson Defenses comes in and says, welcome to the second half.
It's a great way to start the second half, though. John Parker knows that he's going to get hit. As you said, coming all free. Knows he's going to get hit, but doing a nice job of setting his feet and delivering the ball.
Second and 3. Darby, the handoff this time. Shifty moves. He's near the 30-yard line, but about a half a yard shy. That'll bring up third down and very short for the Crimson Tide. And really both sides, after that first drive, Alabama was able to punch it into the end zone, but it was more so for Alabama, some good plays, but unable to finish a drive in that first half.
Really and truly a lot of missed opportunities. Had opportunities to put the ball in the end zone, but failed to do so. Only able to come up with field goals. The bad thing about that is against a team like Hawaii, they can score quick and very often.
Quarterback sneak by John Parker Wison will have the first down to 31, and Russell for the Hawaii offense after that first drive, really nothing positive for June Jones' team.
Right, I'm sure if you told June Jones before the game started you'd give up one touchdown in the first half, he would have taken it. On the flip side of that, he would have at least assumed his offense would have more than 3 points. The Hawaii offense has just not gotten on any kind of groove here in the first half. They need to work on that. It is the first ball game of the season, but it's also reality. It sets in quick. They need to get some movement here in the second half.
True freshman Andre Smith starting at left tackle. Bootleg for Wilson. He dumps it off to the tight end, Travis McCall. Big gain out across the 45-yard line. Good for the first down, and a nice mix for John Parker Wison there, showing his legs, showed his mobility, and the nice
Yeah,
touch.
I like this call on 3rd and short. Hawaii obviously thinking that the run's coming, especially the way that Alabama has been able to punch it in short yardage situations. Two things it does for you, though. It gets your quarterback out on the corner, allows him the run-pass option. As you see, Parker delivering a nice ball and McCall making a nice catch.
Answering the question from Alabama fans year in and year out. Are we going to throw to the tight end? There you go. First down, Bama. Wilson to throw again to the near side. It is bobbled and incomplete. Cadell tried to make a fingertip grab at full extension, but couldn't quite haul that one in.
Kenny Patton on the coverage this time, and really nice concentration by Cadell, but just unable to come down with the catch. But once again, you see Alabama on first down going to the play action. That's important for them to do. They've had success running the ball. Now they need to mix it up, try to take some advantages of this very aggressive Hawaii secondary.
Wilson checking the wristband to make sure everybody's on the same page. Some confusion, and Darby will go nowhere. That play.
Well, they barely got the playoff on that one.
Never looked very smooth from the get-go. John Parker Wison checking the play sheet on his wrist at the very last moment. They'll bring up a 3rd and 11 now officially after a loss of 1. Alabama just 3 out of 8 on 3rd down so far tonight after Malila Purcell gets credit for that stop.
And not the type of 3rd down that Alabama wants to see its offense in. 3rd and extremely long.
Third down, shotgun for Wilson with time to the far side. Will Oakley makes the catch for the Alabama first down. 35-yard line of Hawaii. Will Oakley, the sophomore. First catch of the season. He has battled and battled injuries in his career, and a nice grab there for a first down.
Wilson looking to the left the whole time. Nice route that time by Oakley. As you see him, they bend it in there, give himself a little cushion on the outside before he broke it.
First catch of the year, first career reception for Will Oakley, just his 5th game in an Alabama uniform, but a big first down there. 1st and 10 at the Warriors 35 now. Play action. Wilson throws on the run, looking for Brown. It is caught. Touchdown. Flags came in for pass interference, and once again, Keith Brown coming back to the football, making the play, and the Tide leads 21-3.
Once again, nice play action on first down. You see the pressure coming from the left side. Parker has to step out of the pocket. But what really is incredible is the concentration on Brown.
I think it's decline. Touchdown.
First touchdown pass of the season for John Parker Wison. And another athletic play by Keith Brown. Tiffin for the extra point, right down the middle. And the Crimson Tide thanks mainly to the arm of John Parker Wison, extends its lead 22-3 early in the second half.
8 plays. Touchdown pass. John Parker Wison from Keith Brown.
Crimson Tide with a touchdown. Great throw and catch. Wilson to Brown. Key's third grab of the night. Somebody's name we have not called this evening, DJ Hall. For more on that, we send it down to our Cooks Pest Control sideline reporter, Chris Stewart.
Thanks, David. DJ Hall battling a leg injury, suffered earlier this week in practice, suffered that injury on Wednesday. He is dressed. He is not playing in this ball game. That makes the effort of Keith Brown and Will Oakley and others so much more important, as Hall has been counted on in preseason practice to be the go-to guy at wideout.
Thank you, Chris. Keith has been the go-to man here tonight, and again, Tyler, kind of showing both strengths of John Parker Wison there, throwing on the run. That touchdown pass and a great hustle play by Keith Brown.
Yes, it's a very nice job, but when things aren't exactly perfect, still being able to step up and make a play. Wilson's able to keep his cool, as you saw, throwing off balance, but able to get it up and allow Keith Brown to come down for the touchdown.
Well, that helps you too when you're making your first start for a big-time college program like Alabama, when you have receivers that can make plays like this. This is the second time we've seen Brown do this, make an adjustment to the ball. Elamimian's all over him like a cheap suit. He just sheds him aside, comes back, and makes the catch anyway. He gets 3 flags thrown on the play, didn't need any of them.
And a kind of tale of two teams. You see Keith Brown, you see the excitement for John Parker Wison, but you see Brown making those plays, and on the other side, Colt Brennan hasn't really gotten a whole lot of help from his receivers. Several drops tonight.
Yeah, that's what you usually don't see out of this Hawaii receiving corps, being that they are in patterns so much of the time. But tonight, yeah, the Hawaii defense, the Hawaii offense, had some problems.
Tide upping its lead, 22-3 now early in the third quarter. Friedman to kick it off for Alabama. Ian Sample back deep alongside Dickerson, who hauls it in. Races out across the 20 and spun down as he crosses the 30-yard line. Tell you what, you hold your breath every time number 82 gets his hands on the football on a kickoff. Colt Brennan will try and get something going with this Hawaii offense. You see the disparity in total yards.
And this is a team that there's been times when Colt Brennan has had 300 yards passing in the first half, and it's not been the case against this tough Bama defense.
Warriors had 409 yards of total offense the last time these two teams met. They're under 100 here tonight. Brennan, first throw, it is caught, no, out of bounds and incomplete. Looking for Jason Rivers, but unable to make the catch before he stepped out of bounds. Simeon Castile with good coverage.
Well, Rivers needed to make a move right there. He made the move, but it was just a tad too far out of bounds. This Alabama defense has done a good job with 7 new defensive starters. They've done the job so far. These are numbers that Hawaii quarterbacks are not used to having in the first half of football. 10 of 19, 91 yards for Colt Brennan.
On second down, sends it out to the far side. Bryce Mullins' first catch of the ball game. Shoved out of bounds after a pickup of about 8 yards. Rashad Johnson credited with that stop for Alabama. Tyler, being a quarterback, you can appreciate those numbers from Colt Brennan. He's made some good throws tonight, but his stat line not impressive when the guy on the other end of it doesn't always make the play.
Oh, absolutely. It's not always just about the numbers. It's about what you're putting on the board. And to this point, Wilson has done an outstanding job of leading his football team up and down the field.
Big third down here, opening possession for the Warriors in the second half. Guns that throw complete to the near side. Rivers able to shed Simeon Castile, pick up the first down before Rashad Johnson gets him to the ground. just across midfield. They'll spot it. Alabama 47.5-yard line. 14-yard pickup on 3rd down. So the Warriors will keep the drive going.
Jason Rivers, just a simple out pattern. He's coming back from an injury where he did not play at all last year for the University of Hawaii. Colt Brennan loving that. And Jason Rivers got to feel good for him too, coming back from a year off.
Over the middle, catch made, running room for Ryan Grice Mullen. Jeffrey Dukes finally chases him down, but not before he takes it inside the 20 to the 18-yard line of Alabama.
First down, Hawaii.
We saw there at the tail end of the last replay there, Brennan rolling his fingers saying, keep it coming, give me some high percentage passes that I can complete. Now you see his confidence building up, taking advantage of little man coverage this part on Alabama, hitting the crossing route, which will hurt a man-to-man defense.
29-yard pickup there. First down, Warriors. No pressure at all on Brennan. He'll run it now. Take a lick as he falls inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Marcus Carter tracks him down. But a good pickup on first down. Brennan using the legs that time. Under 10 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Bama played some disciplined defense right there because Colt rolled out and he had a vacant lot in front of him, and they stayed back, made him run. Got some yardage, but not as bad as it could have been if he had completed the pass behind him.
On 2nd and 1, Mawia lumbering, fumbles the ball, and Alabama's got it. Simeon Castile recovers the fumble. Reagan Mawia had the first down, but he took a wicked shot, coughed it up, and the Tide defense forces another turnover.
We talked about it earlier. Anytime that a big running back gets in the secondary, you're not going to see any licks thrown up high. That time it was number 20, Marcus Carter, was able to come in and stick a helmet on him, forces the fumble, and as you said, Simeon Castile able to fall on him.
And the experiment not paying off right there. Reagan Mawia has made some plays in the past, but the converted defensive lineman used more as a legitimate runner on that play, and he paid the price. Took the shot, coughed up the football. Big break for Alabama.
Tide starts at his own 2-yard line. Castile will try and nudge it out just a little bit. Maybe a yard with flags down. Hawaii may have been offside there. Some movement across the front. Jeff Roberson will tell us. And another costly mistake by the Warriors, giving up some valuable ground when you got Alabama backed up.
There's Jude Jones talking to Colt Brennan, saying, hey, we did some positive things on that drive. We need to keep that going next time we get the ball. Now we just need to find some way to keep a hold of it and punch it in.
1st and 5 now for the Crimson Tide. Castile, big hole, trying to break it outside. Ridden down near the 15-yard line, and that is enough for the first down. Tough sledding for Tim Castile.
Alabama, or rather Tim Castile, doing a great job that time with his eyes, seeing the cutback on the right side, able to take advantage of it and get all the way up to the 15-yard line.
Young man that really adjusted well to a new role when he came here. Alabama, he gets a few touches in the backfield, but a great blocker, a great pass catcher. Darby trying to slip outside, but nowhere to go. Giving ground. They'll drop him back at the 10 for a loss of 5 yards. Darby has not had a whole lot of running room here tonight.
And that's exactly what it's been. Just not a lot of places where he could stick his nose in there and pick up positive yardage. Here you see him trying to bounce it outside because there's absolutely nothing on the inside.
A good play by C.J. Allen-Jones. He came off the block of Travis McCall, the tight end, and he was the last hope of defense on that side of the field. Came off the block and made the play.
Selfishly, I was hoping C.J. Allen-Jones would make a lot of plays tonight. By far the easiest name on the Hawaii defense.
And Hawaii's got a bunch of them. Two CJs and an AJ.
Darby again kind of tiptoeing his way through the line. Gets 4 of the 5 yards back, but it'll set up a 3rd and long as we tick under the 7-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Tyler, we saw it a lot last year with Alabama and Kenneth Darby. The second half was where he really seemed to excel. He seemingly got better and better the more touches he got, but this Hawaii defense is not giving him any ground so far tonight.
Well, and on his defense also, he's used to having 10 to 15 touches in the first half alone. He hasn't had anywhere near that tonight.
11 carries, 21 yards officially for Darby. Another 3rd down. Deep drop for Wilson. Pressured, dumps it off just as he was ridden to the ground. And that'll be incomplete. Good pressure that time by the Hawaii front. They haven't gotten a whole lot of pressure on John Parker Wilson so far tonight.
And they've needed it. They came up with it on that play. Now it's up to the Hawaii offense to go ahead and get something done. The Bama got the ball deep, but they're in with bad field position off a turnover. And counting the points taken off of the board on the overturned play and the field goal off the upright. Hawaii's gotten some breaks in this game. They just need to go ahead and do something with them.
Fitzgerald on to punt. He hit a beautiful punt earlier. Another tight spiral. Turns over. Catch made right at midfield. 36-yard punt that time by Fitzgerald. 6:11 play in the 3rd. (22-3). Alabama leading it here in the 3rd quarter. And that Alabama defense has given up some plays, a little bit of yardage tonight, but Chris Stewart, a heck of a job holding Hawaii to just 3 points so far.
David, it really has been a great job by the defense. Joe Kynes and Mike Shula were very careful this week to not throw out a lot of cliches and talk about you can't stop them, you can only hope to contain Hawaii's defense. What they said is you've got to take advantage on the very few mistakes that are made. And so far, Alabama's been able to do that. They've given up yardage, but they've taken advantage of miscues by Hawaii tonight in the offense. Unfortunately, Alabama's not turned it into points as often as they would like.
Thank you, Chris. Our Cook's Pest Control sideline reporter tonight. Last year, Hawaii averaged 30.7 points per game, 476 yards per game, 384 of those coming through the air, but nowhere near those numbers here tonight.
And they did it with a quarterback who was replacing the all-time passing leader in college football last year in Colt Brennan, his first year as a starter. And they had 2 receivers that stood out. We talked about it in the open, a true freshman and a redshirt freshman. So last year you would have figured that they would have had the problems with moving to football, but that's not. They moved it last year. They're having problems here tonight.
Alabama defense able to get some pressure, but also has forced some key turnovers. Not converting them into points like they would like, but still the pressure causing some miscues. Trouble. That turned into a safety for the Tide, and a huge play just a moment ago. The fumble by Mawia. Alabama gives it back now to Hawaii at the 50. First down, Warriors, just shy of midfield. Time again for Brennan. Deep ball. Man open. Grice Mullins spins away from Marcus Carter. He's slung out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. And just like that, Hawaii knocking on the door again inside the red zone.
Brennan does a good job of checking off on his far side. Then comes back down his progression ladder, finds Grice Marlin. Had some problems with dropping balls tonight, but that one keeps a good hang on, and Hawaii's in the red zone just like that.
32 yards officially to pick up. Under 6 minutes to play in the quarter. Inside give to Mawia. Wisely. The Alabama tackler. I believe that was Prince Hall. Went low, as Coach Watts advised earlier. Stay low. Prince Hall, redshirt freshman out of Moreno Valley, California. Reagan Mawia, converted defensive lineman, dropped 50 pounds in the offseason, and still nobody wants to tackle him. Second down and 9 officially. Shovel pass to Mawia. Inside the 10, inside the 5, and a touchdown for the Warriors. He got that momentum going and was not going to be stopped.
You like June Jones having the confidence to stick with this guy. Last time they were down there, Mawia coughed up the rock. This time he goes right back at him, and watch the blocks downfield. Mawia works off of those. The linemen get out in front. He's pretty much a lineman himself. Is Reagan Mawia. Takes it in for the first touchdown of the Warrior football season.
First touchdown pass for Brennan. Probably not what he thought it would be. A shovel pass for a touchdown. Dan Kelly on to attempt the extra point. And with just under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter, it's now a 12-point game once again as the Warriors. And Reagan Mawia, especially unfazed by that turnover on the last drive, they march it right back down the field.
And we say it again, that's a 300-pounder running right there. He's got some moves for a big man. And look at the blockers out in front of him. Tali Serra, Hercules Sateli out in front and laying the groundwork for Maui, and he punches it in as Hawaii finally gets a touchdown up on the scoreboard.
Officially 17 yards on the pass play. I also mentioned early favorites on the all-name team this year. 2 offensive linemen for the Warriors, Hercules and Samson Satele, who are cousins. And they have angered that man, defensive coordinator Joe Kynes, for the Crimson Tide. But again, kind of as Chris Stewart mentioned a moment ago, if you're Alabama, you don't expect to hold Hawaii to 3 points all night long. You anticipate giving up a few plays here and there.
Oh, absolutely. And the reason that Joe Kynes is upset right now is here in the second half, they have not stopped this Hawaii offense. The only thing that has stopped their attack is the fumble down in the red zone. So right now, 2 possessions, 2 drives, 2 very nice sustained drives for Hawaii. And that's where you can see when a team passes the ball and they stretch it both horizontally and vertically, they can score extremely quick. So you can never give up regardless of how much time is on this clock. At any point in Hawaii has the capability of scoring.
Deep men for Alabama, Arenas and Terry Grant. As Dan Kelly set to kick it away. Arenas right at the goal line. Trying to get to the far side, out across the 20. Ridden down around the 22-yard line.
There's something you don't see every day. It's a senior starter out there on special teams, but Leonard Peters out there coming up assisting on the play right here. And like I said earlier, he's happy to have that 6th year of eligibility back. And he's not wasting any time.
A trend in college football. We're seeing more and more first teamers, starters, playing special teams. Alabama sets up shop at its own 22 with a 12-point lead now. End around to Keith Brown. Tiptoes out of bounds, very near the first down marker.
Tackled by Leonard Peters.
That's a good call here on first down on this third possession of the second half. Alabama going with the reverse. They've kind of been vanilla here in the second half, just running off tackle. Of course, they've been backed up a lot, and you saw play action for a touchdown, but trying to give themselves a little bit of breathing room right here. Very important drive for Alabama in order to take a little pressure, allow their defense to rest.
Officially 8 yards for Keith Brown on that end around run. Brings up 2nd and 2. Darby trying to stretch it out. Out across the 30. Flags come in late as this one will be coming back. B.J. Stabler trying to throw a block. Made a pretty nice takedown on the edge, and that'll cost the Tide 10 yards.
Hold it. Offense, number 61. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
BJ doing a nice job of getting outside. As you said, when they watch film tomorrow, he'll say he just tripped.
But Jacob Patek, 31, just having a rough first start for the University of Hawaii. He comes out to play run support, and as a 300-pounder barreling down on him, that makes for a tough night.
But he did a great job keeping his feet and stretching the play all the way to the sideline, which is really what caused that holding penalty.
Just the second penalty on Alabama tonight. 2nd and 12 now for the Crimson Tide. Good protection for Wilson, who rifles that one. Another leaping grab by Keith Brown. Out to the 38-yard line. Kenny Patton had pretty good coverage, but I'll tell you what, Keith Brown came to play tonight for the Crimson Tide.
Nice 15-yard in route this time by Keith Brown. As you can see, the concentration right there. And one thing, he has performed very well tonight. Brought down several good passes. You keep feeding it to him. You keep throwing it at him. As long as he's catching the ball, as long as he's making plays like that, you keep going to your go-to guy.
Yeah, Keith Brown's getting the pizza tonight, and John Parker Wilson's buying.
The give to Darby. Stacked up right at the line once more. He may have gained 2 yards, but no more than that. 3.5 minutes to play in quarter number 3 here in Tuscaloosa. 22-10, Alabama with the lead over Hawaii. Season opener for both teams.
And Hawaii obviously has made a lot of adjustments here at halftime. Alabama not being able to run on demand as they were in the first half. Having to rely on deep throwing patterns, which is not their bread and butter. That's not what they're used to. They want to run the ball. Hawaii's done a nice job of taking that away from them.
Quick throw to the tight end and another first down. Nick Walker reels that one in. Down to the Hawaii 44-yard line. The second completion of the night to the tight end for Alabama.
16 yards on the play.
As you said, Tyler, you don't have to throw it 100 miles an hour, but he had some zip on that ball.
Ball needs to go where it needs to go. Parker Wilson doing a great job that time. I say it's not what they're best at. They're not as good of a passing attack team as Hawaii is, but here they are coming out in the second half and doing a very nice job.
16 yards on that pass play and another Alabama first down. Wilson to throw again. Rifles that one complete to Will Oakley for a short gain. Short gain, almost 5 yards on that throw and catch.
You guys talked about there's two ways to play a passing offense. Wide open and deep attacking, or just keep it simple, throw short passes over the middle. The different receivers on back-to-back plays, but essentially the same play, just 5 yards on the field, turn around, look at, and I'll throw you the football. And Alabama's moving it through the air.
June Jones, Jerry Glanville would like to see Alabama try and up-tempo it, try and match the pace for Hawaii. That's not what the Tide's going to do. They're going to do their best to play keep away if they can from that Hawaii offense. Deep drop for Wilson, and the deep ball. Brown wide open, and he's out of bounds. Got turned around just a little bit, lost track of where he was, and is going to kick himself all the way back to the bench. Great throw by John Parker Wison, or we'll see where it came down.
Ball a little bit outside there. You see Brown having to go to the corner. If he doesn't get turned around, he might have the opportunity to try to drag his feet. Wilson just trying to make sure he put on that outside shoulder a little bit too far.
But it's apparent this Keith Brown guy is just a big-time playmaker. I mean, he just left Kenny Patton and his jock at about the 20-yard line and ran the rest of the way on his own.
Another quick throw. Matt Caddell over the middle, makes that grab, ducks his head down to the 30, and that'll be another Crimson Tide first down. Caddell, the junior out of McAdory High School.
Several plays now in a row, Alabama has thrown the ball. When we talk about the deep pass that was just overthrown into the outside, you say, well, there's a missed opportunity. One thing that it does do, it allows this underneath game to become open.
Well, it's Leonard Peters. If you're a Hawaii fan, that's something you do not want to see. Leonard Peters getting that extra year of eligibility after a knee injury last year, and he's the kind of guy, we talked about it earlier, he takes himself out of a couple of plays just with the style of football that he plays. He looks to be okay, and hopefully it's nothing more than getting the wind knocked out of him.
Justin Britt on the tail end of that play. Caddell played in all 25 career games at the university. Second catch of the night gives the Tide a first down at the Warriors 30. Wilson with time over the middle, catch made again. Nick Walker, the tight end, in traffic, hangs in there and makes the grab. It'll be first and goal for the Crimson Tide at the Hawaii 8-yard line.
Tight end, one of the most difficult positions to cover for a defense. That time catching Hawaii in more of a 2 deep with the safeties outside. Able to slip just past the linebackers there for John Parker to find him open.
Walker, freshman All-SEC last year. 9 catches for the Tide. Final 40 seconds of this third quarter. Now Alabama threatening again. Give it to Darby. Wrapped up and dropped. Nowhere to go for the Tide senior out of Huntsville. Came into the game 1,077 yards shy of the school's all-time rushing record, but it has been a tough night for him so far tonight. Final 7 seconds of the quarter. Alabama's not going to snap it again. They will head to that new north end zone and get ready to start the fourth quarter, leading 22-10 over Hawaii. Back with the final 15 minutes on Crimson Tide pay-per-view. Ready to start the fourth quarter. Alabama with a 12-point lead over the Warriors. Mike Shula seeing his offense perform pretty well in that third quarter, tacking on a touchdown and an impressive drive going here. Alabama with a 2nd and goal from the Hawaii 10. Wilson wants to throw into the end zone, wide open again. Keith Brown, touchdown. A.J. Martinez, I think, got lost somehow in the coverage. Keith Brown, knowing exactly where he was, able to get the toe down. And the Crimson Tide finds the end zone.
The confidence is just radiating from Keith Brown right now, as you can see it. If you're throwing it to him, he's going to come down with it. They're going to stop play on this.
Jones, I believe, is challenging this. One of the rules changes.
Are they reviewing?
This is one of the rules changes for this year.
Now,
Alabama, SEC, accustomed to instant replay after last year, but this is one change. Coaches, once per game, if they have a timeout available, can request a challenge. And that's what June Jones has done here.
Now, here's the irony of this play right here. That referee is in perfect position. He is 5 yards away from his foot. And we're going to rely on our camera to determine if this is a touchdown or not. But we have the benefit of slow motion.
Right. But still, that's out of bounds, ain't it?
Looks like the toe's on the line.
It's not, doesn't help matters any that he's got shoes with a white toe on it.
Yeah. There is no time limit. They can take as long as it needs to review this. Mike Shula, hope the touchdown stands. We go down to Chris Stewart.
Guys, it's not tennis, but the ball was on the line. Nope, the toe was not on the line. Great camera work. That's Keith Brown's divot. We'll see if the replay shows the same thing from here. And I've got the best view in the house. Looks like a touchdown.
Quick, Mr. McEnroe, erase that before anybody can go get a good look at it. Keith thinks it's a touchdown. Tide fans are hoping it's a touchdown. Already had one overrule tonight.
It's an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd down and goal from the 10-yard line. Hawaii is not charged a timeout.
See, his foot is on the line. Now, when was his foot mesh with the ground? Did it slide to the line?
Unfortunately, it did.
That's an ex-Alabama player, folks.
Boy, that's a great throw and catch.
There's irony here. That referee was 3 yards away from his foot, and we're going to rely on a camera 100 yards away at a crazy angle to determine if that's a touchdown or not.
You can see the official staring down, but
baby.
toe on the line, and it's 3rd and 10. Hawaii not charged a timeout. To the end zone, the fade route for Brown. This one is broken up, incomplete. Good coverage that time by A.J. Martinez. Step for step with Brown.
This Hawaii defense has next week off on a bye week, but they're going to see number 81 in their dreams for the next 2 weeks because this guy has just been all over them. Didn't make the play there, but he has been on the ball or close to it all night long.
So for the second time, Alabama's seen a touchdown taken off the board. Now Lee Tiffin will attempt a 27-yard field goal. Bangs it through. And once more, the Tide, thinking it had 6, has to settle for a little bit less. The field goal from Lee Tiffin makes it a 25-10 lead for the Crimson Tide, as 92,000 or thereabouts still not happy that this catch, initially called a touchdown, was overturned.
And have every reason to be concerned. If you're playing anyone other than Hawaii up 25-10 with 14 minutes left in the game, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. But this is just a 2-possession football game right now. Can you say that's a big call? Absolutely.
So close,
but the right call.
Toe on the line. And you're right. The ironic thing is, you could see in that shot the official staring dead at the foot, but not meant to be. John Parker Wison in the second half. Look at those numbers. 9 out of 14, 226 yards.
So Tyler, you're against replay?
I am when it goes against Alabama.
Gotcha.
I'm a homer.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's conferences like the SEC and Big Ten that are pushing stuff like that. WAC didn't even have replay last year.
I think it's important for
everything's a touchdown in the WAC, though.
That's the way it should be.
15-point lead for Alabama as Friedman puts his foot into it, drives it into the end zone. Dickerson thought about bringing it out. Instead, slams on the brakes and will take a knee. Wilson's numbers officially 13 out of 24 tonight for 226 yards. And speaking of a toe on the line, but until everything, ball, player, everything comes out of the end zone, you can take a knee and touch a line. But again, the Warriors backed up to that north end zone with a lot of folks looking down on them. Brennan rifles that one short and complete to Bryce Mullen. Check that, Devon Bess. Simeon Castile credited with a stop that time. For Alabama, Bess with 14 touchdown grabs last year, easily the leader for the Warriors.
And now you've seen Joe Cons challenge this defense to make plays. Let's stop this Hawaiian offense.
Brennan's numbers dramatically improved here in the second half. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Throwing in the direction of Devon Bess. Tight coverage by Simeon Castile, but Brennan really got popped just as he unloaded. Wallace Gilbert, I believe, the man that delivered that shot on Brennan.
Alabama only rushing 3, but you can see them working hard, trying to get back to Brennan, knowing if they're going to disrupt this passing attack, they've got to put pressure on Colt Brennan.
Third down.
He's got to be feeling a little frustrated. He mentioned his numbers are improved, but he's got to this point what he usually has in the first half of play. So, I mean, he's having an off night by this Hawaii offensive standards.
3rd and 1. Whistles, flags. I believe movement across the front for the Warriors. Quickly, we will send it down to Chris Stewart.
Well, when you add 9,000 additional seats, David, it's going to add to the noise level, which is already one of the loudest stadiums in all of college football. These people behind me here trying to make a difference in this half of the stadium as Hawaii's backed up a very important drive in this quarter.
So high, some of them are in the dark tonight in that new north end zone.
And the most impressive part about that is the facade on the outside, and that walk of champions coming up into the stadium that Alabama used for the first time today. Very impressive stadium.
5-yard step off. It's now 3rd and 6. Brennan slings that one complete to Bryce Mullen, but short of the first down. Simeon Castile right there to make the play for the Alabama defense. And the Warriors will have to punt it away. 2 minutes into this final quarter.
Successful defenses play their assignment. It's not 11 individuals out trying to make a play. It's 11 guys doing their job on every play.
Again, somewhat of a quick kick, hustling the punt team out there, but it checks up, takes an Alabama bounce, and touchdown right at the midfield stripe, officially the 48-yard line. So great field position for Alabama, leading 25-10.
Well, this game is
Coca-Cola kickoff in the quad. Enjoy the PPV radio broadcast, live entertainment, the Legends autograph tent, the Alabama cheerleaders, and much more. That's kickoff in the quad. 3 hours prior to kickoff at every home game. Take a look at the Jumbotron. You're about to see the Bell South fan of the game. There she is. Thanks for being here tonight. You are the Bell South fan of the game.
$12 minutes, 45 seconds. Now the clock ticks as the officials signal the ball ready for play. 5-yard step off on the end of that punt. Too many men on the field for the Warriors. They assess the penalty at the end of the run. So Alabama starts this drive in Hawaii territory. Darby trying to get outside. Flag down. That's probably the most running room Kenneth has seen all night, but it will very likely come back. Leonard Peters chases him out, but I believe this one will be against the Tide. Indeed it is, a hold on Alabama.
Holding, offense, number 19. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
So wipe off one of the best runs of the night for Kenneth Darby. Cody Davis, you saw briefly there in the shot, getting some playing time at left tackle, the sophomore. Also Kyle Tatum in the game. There's Cody Davis. Kyle Tatum in there at right tackle. He's played the majority of this second half for Alabama. The senior out of Prattville, replacing Chris Capps. First and 17, excuse me. Dump off to Keith Brown. Shoved out of bounds, back across midfield around the 43-yard line. Kenny Patton shoves him out. Alabama gets the penalty back. 11 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6. Kyle Tatum, we mentioned him. Another nice play by Keith Brown. Tatum, the senior, had started 24 straight games before tonight, but he's seen a bunch of snaps tonight as Hawaii gets a piece of John Parker Wison really for the few times tonight.
And as a quarterback, you know that you're going to get a hit. Question is, what are you going to do prior to getting hit?
Straight drop for John Parker. Slings that one short and incomplete. Looking for Will Oakley. Pocket beginning to collapse there. Able to unload it. And face a 3rd and 6 now. Ikaika Alama Francis The senior able to apply some pressure then to John Parker Wison.
And the good news for Alabama, if you had no idea that Parker Wison was making his first start tonight, you'd never know it. He's looked good in his first goal.
Very comfortable. He seemed very comfortable in the preseason and in the scrimmages, and has performed admirably tonight. Bama 5 out of 12 on third down, 3 out of 5 in the second half. Rifles that one to Cadell inside the 40, and he is very close to the first down marker. Jacob Patek with the tackle, and I believe it's going to be fourth down.
A gain of just over 9 yards.
Fourth and very short.
Less than a yard.
And it appears as if Alabama will go for it again on fourth down. 1 for 1 tonight on fourth down, and the jumbo package in there. They're going to have to hustle. Play clock at 5.
They missed it.
May have been trying to draw Hawaii off sides there. And now they'll try and pin the Warriors deep.
Before the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Well, Mike Shula played here 22 years ago. Hasn't aged a second. He looks like he could still go out there and throw on the pads and play a couple of quarters.
4th and 6 at the 42.
That guy's aged a few years just in his 2 at Hawaii.
A lot of NFL years on both sidelines. P.J. Fitzgerald
Leonard Peters to receive.
on to punt for Alabama. Leonard Peters back deep. Fitzgerald hangs it up high. Gets a favorable bounce. And touchdown right at the 15-yard line. Not exactly a thing of beauty, but effective. And it forces Hawaii to stare at a long field now with 10:38 to play in the game, and Alabama hanging on to a 25-10 lead.
You know, talking to the Hawaii coaches earlier this week, they were excited to come back to this part of the country to play here in Alabama. Both Jerry Glanville, June Jones coached up in Atlanta. Is it 3 hours away from here? And they were just excited, especially Jerry Glanville, to be back. He's a Southern guy. To be back at this part of the country, he's excited.
Brennan, plenty of time to throw over the middle. Catch made by Dickerson. Wrapped up out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. That is 19 yards on first down before Jawan Simpson can make the stop. Senior out of Decatur, preseason all SEC pick and on the Butkus Award watch list. Brennan loads up, swings it out to Bess. Trying to shake free. Ridden down by Castile at the 46-yard line, and that is good for another Hawaii first down.
13 yards on the clock. First down, Hawaii.
You got to like the way that Colt Brennan uses his eyes. You see him there looking to the left before he swings it back over to Bess on the right side. Simeon Castile doing a nice job of open field tackling right there. He had to give up the first down, but didn't give up much more.
On first down, Brennan hit as he throws deep over the middle and incomplete. Good coverage by Ramsey Robinson. There is a flag down, though, in the backfield.
Pressured by Bobby Greenwood. There's a flag on the play.
Bobby Greenwood got the pressure. Hercules Satelli, the guilty party, and Greenwood's pressure may have drawn that flag.
You know, relatively penalty free here tonight. Just the 9th penalty between both squads. The 5th for Hawaii, only 4 for Alabama. As you see the holding play right there. So here for the first game of the season, both clubs relatively doing a very nice job of playing mistake and penalty free.
9:13 to play in the ball game. 1st and 20. And up to the 45-yard line. Jason Rivers takes that pass from Colt Brennan.
And partially because of new rules in college football, and partially because of the fact that Alabama's done such a good job of ball control. This game is moving right along. Hawaii's used to playing 4-hour contests, and here we're coming up on 8:45 left in this football game. A very June Jones-like kind of game here tonight.
That's a very valid point when it comes to teams like Hawaii. They're not going to get as many plays now. Try to set up the screen to Dickerson, but Alabama was ready. Wallace Gilberry sticking his nose in there. Prince Hall also there to disrupt that play. And it sets up a 3rd and long now. We talked about the clock starting sooner in possessions. That means fewer plays for a lot of teams.
And in June Jones' case, when that rule was sort of announced, he was very adamant about not liking that rule. Most coaches were against it, but in his case, he said he would knock off 20 to 25 plays per ball game. And with an offense like Hawaii's, every time you have the ball, every play can do some damage. You can do some damage, but when he knocks plays out of the contest like that, it hurts you.
3rd and 12. Brennan rolls away from trouble. Trying to find an open man. It is caught over the middle and good for a 1st down. Jason Rivers reels it in. Brennan, a nice job of buying himself some time before he could finally find an open man.
Any secondary, any defensive coach can only hope to give 4 or 5 seconds or expect that many for the secondary to have to cover. So anytime that there's a busted play, as we saw Colt Brennan roll out of the pocket that time, buy himself a few extra seconds, makes it that much more difficult for the secondary.
Cramp for one of the offensive linemen for the Warriors. But as we said, all things considered, the conditions here tonight are not bad at all.
Well, let me tell you one thing. Hawaii is very lucky that this north end zone was put in place, and there was a celebration for it this weekend, because had it not been for that north end zone, this game very well could have been played at 1 o'clock this afternoon, Alabama time. And if it had been, the Warriors would have been in far deeper trouble than they are now, because it was scorching hot today at 1 o'clock. I'm sure you guys are used to it, but
you act like Hawaii is in Denver, Colorado.
Hawaii
it never gets below 80 degrees.
We don't get many ocean breezes here in Tuscaloosa.
There's just a different feel to the heat here in Alabama. I mean, it does get hot in Hawaii, but whoa, today it was 95 in the shade.
We had a stretch, I believe, of 75, 76 days in a row of 90-plus temperatures in Tuscaloosa.
That was Reagan Mauia. We thought it was an offensive lineman because he's as big as one. But boy, Hawaii caught a break by having this be in the night game. I'll tell you that much, because at 1 o'clock today, we got here to the stadium, and it was not good. It was bad.
Glad to have you with us here on Crimson Tide Pay-Per-View. I'm David Crane, Tyler Watts, Russell Yamanoha.
And walking around with a UH shirt on didn't help matters much either.
1st down throw. Catch made by Dickerson down near the Alabama 30-yard line. That's a little bit shy of the 1st down. Ramsey Robinson, senior, one of the veterans, really the only veteran in this Alabama secondary, there to make the stop. It has been it's a great weekend regardless. It's the start of college football season, so that's good news for everybody. Labor Day weekend, extra day off, that's good, but it has been an extra special weekend here in Tuscaloosa. And Tyler Watts, you were one of those 400 or so players down on the field before the game.
Oh, what an incredible atmosphere to be able to walk out on that field just one more time.
Second and short. Brennan to throw again. Far side. It is caught by Grice Mullen for a touchdown. Brennan put that one right on the money. And Ryan Grice Mullen closes the gap. Still a lot of time to play. 25-16. 12 touchdowns for Grice Mullen last year, his first here in 2006.
And the Alabama defense up until that point had been doing a good job of using their athleticism to keep Hawaii from breaking by them. But that time when Grice Mullen caught a break, being able to break to the outside like that, catching a nice ball over his shoulder and taking it in.
Kelly's extra point is good. And with 7:04 to play in the game, the Warriors close the gap. 25-17 Alabama with the lead.
7 plays, a 33-yard touchdown pass from Colt Brennan to Ryan Grice Mullen.
Past the midpoint of this final stanza in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, seeing its lead reduced 25-17 now. The Warriors closing the gap. We send it down to our Cook's Pest Control sideline reporter, Chris Stewart.
Well, guys, whatever fatigue Hawaii may have been suffering is long gone after scoring and getting within 8 now. The heat has been a factor today, but there is a wonderful breeze right now. The fans enjoy it. We enjoy it. The flowers on this shirt aren't wilting quite as much. But that having been said, Hawaii now with new life in the heat, even though we've seen some cramping, maybe not as much of a factor as we thought it could be coming into this game.
Thank you, Chris. We talked about it in the first half. An impressive drive there for the Warriors. 7 plays, 85 yards, 334, 31-yard touchdown pass from Colt Brennan to Ryan Grice Mullen. The Hawaii defense spent a lot of time on the field in the first half. For Alabama, though, Tyler Watts, the fact that they're having to play pass defense down after down after down, they knew they were going to be tired when this ball game was over.
And it absolutely wears the defensive front out, constantly having to put pressure on a quarterback, put that rushing defense in the backfield every time. It will wear you down. So the more time Alabama can spend on the sideline, better off they're going to be.
And that's what the offense is thinking right now for Alabama. Tide offense would love to gobble up about 7 minutes and 4 seconds off the clock if they can on this possession. Dan Kelly to boot it away. Arenas once again from the 5. Trying to get outside. Cut down as he gets to the 20-yard line. He covered a lot of ground and has a 15-yard return for his effort. Under 7 to play in the game, and as we said, John Parker Wison and company would love some more points, but maybe as important right now, they would love to go to work on that clock. A nice, solid night for John Parker Wison in his first start.
And the reason that's going to be difficult right now is Hawaii's done an outstanding job in the second half of shutting down the Alabama running attack.
McClain in front of Darby. Moran slips into motion. Wilson flips it out, incomplete on the bootleg, looking for Travis McCall, but he felt the pressure from Brashton Satele and had to unload a little sooner than he would have liked.
You're talking about the fact that there have been few penalties, relatively few penalties tonight, being the first game of the season. Alabama's also done a great job of ball security, being for the first game of the season. Usually that's when you see a lot of false starts and turnovers and things like that in the first game, but Alabama's done a great job of that tonight.
On 2nd and 10, Darby picks up a tough yard or a yard and a half and no more. Adam Leonard with the tackle that time for Hawaii. And the Crimson Tide looks at a 3rd and 9 at the 6-minute mark of the 4th quarter. The Warrior defense trying to come up with a big stop here and get the ball back with a lot of time remaining.
It's a big play right here.
Shotgun for Wilson. Here comes the blitz. Pass tipped and caught by Brown. Out across the 30 near the 33 and another Alabama first down. I thought that ball was tipped. It may have simply slipped out of
No, it was definitely
John Parker Wilson's hand.
Thud from up here in the press box. And I think that everybody in this stadium was holding their breath, wondering if that ball was ever going to come down. Unfortunately, it did. Right in the hands of Keith Brown.
So it's a mark of a good quarterback when you can keep it as a spiral even after it's tipped.
You think he's good at skipping rocks on a pond?
A big conversion on 3rd down there.
But Keith Brown, man, just makes play after play
for the football and a fresh set of downs. Jimmy Johns juggled that handoff slightly and still able to pick up nearly 3 yards as we'll tick under 5 minutes to go.
And now is when this Alabama coaching staff is going to rely heavily on this Alabama offensive line. You saw Jimmy Johns run to the line of scrimmage that time and basically get hit at what looked like the line of scrimmage, but oh, it's not. The offensive line does a great job of pushing the line of scrimmage 3 yards forward.
Crimson Tide very deliberate now on offense. 4.5 minutes to play. They'll let the play clock wind down. It's at 10 right now. Darby gets the call, trips and goes down for a loss of about a yard on the play, and that'll set up another 3rd and long. And Darby just hasn't seemed very comfortable here tonight. That has a lot to do with the number of white shirts that have been in front of him all night long.
Yeah, Hawaii's done a good job of swarming the number 34 all night long. And now I think you can kind of see the frustration as he might be sitting here trying to force a play to happen as opposed to just allowing the play to develop and picking up what he can.
Yeah, he's definitely a frustrated runner. His best run of the night called back on a holding call. He's having a tough outing.
3rd and a long 8. Flags fly. I'm not sure Bama got the play off in time.
There's a flag on the play.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Trying to milk the play clock as best they could. And a second too long there. Sets up a 3rd and 13 now for the Alabama offense.
After the penalty, 3rd and 13 at the 29.
Shotgun once more. 4 wide receivers for John Parker Wilson. In trouble and spun down for a loss. He'll be sacked back at the 33-yard line by Adam Leonard.
Behind the line of scrimmage by Adam Leonard.
And with under 3 minutes to play in the game, the Crimson Tide will have to give it back to the Warriors.
We saw Colt Brennan do that, just kind of turn into a pass rusher.
4th down.
And John Parker Wilson does the same thing right there.
And the Warriors will spend a timeout, their first of the night. 2:52 to play in the game. That is the first sack allowed by the Alabama offense here tonight. But it comes at a key time for the Warriors defense. They will give the ball back to their offense.
The Alabama offense really missed Keith Brown right there on his last reception. Looked like he had a hand injury. Came out of the ballgame. He was not in there on that play.
And for more on that, we'll send it down to our Cook's Pest Control sideline reporter, Chris Stewart.
Guys, it looks like a hand injury to Keith Brown. He's gone to the locker room. Medical personnel attending to him. Apparently, when he made that last reception off the deflection, he landed on his hand or was hit on the hand. But they're taking him to the locker room, apparently for x-rays right now. As soon as we find out details, we will let you know.
Thank you, Chris. Not good news for the Alabama offense. Of course, DJ Hull not playing tonight. A little nicked up as well. Keith Brown has had a whale of a ball game. 6 catches, 132 yards, and a touchdown. 6 catches, matching his career high. He had 6 receptions last year against Ole Miss. Fitzgerald the punt. Bangs it away. Hawthorne at the 34. Stumbles and falls down after a 1-yard gain, and a flag comes in. Jimmy John's applauding well back down the field. Jeff Roberson, our referee, threw the flag very, very late.
There's a flag.
The illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 26. 10-yard penalty. First down.
I think that came well down the field, but will cost the Warriors 10 yards.
It's called a Micah Lau, number 26 for Hawaii.
Step off will put it back to the 25-yard line with 2:40 to play. 2 timeouts for the Warriors as they trail by 8. Brennan rifles that one complete to Dickerson near the 35-yard line, but a little bit shy of the first down. Clock continues to roll. 2:20 to play.
9 yards on the play.
9-yard pickup for Dickerson. 2nd and 1. Brennan over the middle. It is bobbled, and it is incomplete. Ramsey Robinson made a dive for that deflection and very nearly made what would have been the play of the game for the Alabama defense.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Hawaii cannot let these balls pop up into the air like this, and Ramsey Robinson almost comes up with a nice play. Dickerson looks like the pass is thrown with a little mustard on it. A hand injury for him as well. Ramsey Robinson just missing on that one. That would have pretty much shut the door on Hawaii.
Dickerson, you could see him in the replay, went down with a hand injury, may have jammed a finger trying to make that grab. It's 3rd and 1 with 2:02 to play. Shovel pass again. Alabama read it well.
David Farmer, his first carry of the season.
Tide reacted well, but not soon enough. Short pickup was enough for the first down. 38-yard line officially.
And this is statement time for both sides. Bama with a bunch of new starters on defense, and Hawaii trying to make a statement on the road.
Bryce Mullen with the grab, heads for the boundary as another flag comes sailing in the Hawaii backfield. And a hold will bring this play back. June Jones about 5 yards out on the field. A dual purpose trip.
Holding. Offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Not happy with that call, and also chatting with his quarterback. A minute 38 to play in the 4th quarter, and a costly step off again against the Warriors. 1st and 20. Joe Kynes hoping his defense can make one more stop here. Brennan, shovel pass again. David Farmer on the receiving end for the second time. Gets the penalty back. And brings up second and right at 10 yards now. Clock ticking, though, down to 1:15 to play in the game.
Hawaii looking like the Philadelphia Eagles right there. They need to move with some urgency and get the ball going.
Brennan steps up, guns that one complete to Grice Mullen. But in the middle of the field to the 44-yard line. Clock continues to roll. Terrence Jones with the stop there for Alabama. We're under a minute to play. Hawaii with 2 timeouts, but June Jones electing to simply go with the no huddle. Short throw and catch made by Devon Bess. Out across midfield. That's good for the first down. Lionel Mitchell with the big hit. But that will stop the clock with 36 seconds to play in the game.
Alabama very conscious right now. They'll give up yardage in the middle of the field, but as long as they can keep these receivers from getting to the sideline, stepping out of bounds, they'll give up a first down all day long.
And now a timeout taken by the Warriors. The scoreboard says 2 timeouts, but I believe they are down to only 1 now with 36 seconds remaining on the clock. And indeed they correct that. It is 1 timeout remaining for June Jones and company.
And there's one thing about being cool. There's one thing about being too cool. The Hawaii offense right now is just too cool on the flyer. They need to be moving up, running up to the line of scrimmage, getting up, stopping the clock, down in the football, and getting this with 1 timeout left, 36 seconds left, and they're just over now midfield.
Now you can talk about the rules changes possibly coming into play here at the end of the game with the continuous or the running clock after the change of possession. June Jones, of course, thinks it's going to be 25 plays, and it very well could be when a play for Hawaii takes 6 seconds off the clock because they throw the ball so much. But during the normal course of a game, you never know how it'll play out at the end.
Exactly right. It is a first down for Hawaii. At the Alabama 49. Brennan harassed, guns it, complete again to Bess. Alabama keeps him inbounds. They'll stop the clock after the first down. They take it to the Tide 34-yard line. 28 seconds to play in the game. But they will wind the clock. Ball spotted, ready for play. Brennan will tuck it and run, heading for the sideline. He will get out of bounds. Heads up play by the quarterback, killing the clock with 13 seconds. Showing Lionel Mitchell chases him out, but you're down now. If you hustle, maybe 3 snaps, probably 2, and at some point you're going to have to go to the end zone.
Depending on whether or not they do go to the end zone will depend on whether or not they have 2 or 3 plays. If they go something short right here, are able to get it out of bounds, obviously they could potentially have 2 more plays. If they go for the end zone right now, more than likely 2 plays from here.
A win, lose, or draw for Hawaii to be in a position to pull off a tie with 13 seconds left in front of 92,000. That says something about this team.
Brennan to the near side, high and incomplete. Looking for Bess once more. Ramsey Robinson with the coverage. 7 seconds to go. Certainly June Jones would love to have had 500 yards and 50 points right now, but as you said, if you can go on the road first game of the year put yourself in position to win, you got to like the chances.
See, Alabama fans might not be used to this, but Colt Brennan has a habit of doing this. Let's just say he upchucks the pressure moments, but that's his way of relieving the pressure. You saw it right there. Last time he did it, he did a 50-some-odd yard touchdown pass. Let's see what he does here with the game on the line, 7 seconds left.
Time for Brennan into the end zone. It is incomplete.
1 second left.
With 1 second on the clock. force that one a little bit into coverage, but at this point you don't have many options.
I don't know if you want to sit on a tight shot of Colt Brennan at this point. He's left his mark all over the field.
And doing it again as we speak.
Alabama only rushing 3, dropping everybody in the secondary.
Looking for Jason Rivers that time, but well covered. This is it.
And for Hawaii, you got to give them some credit in front of this crowd with a quarterback that's losing lunch. 1 second left. It's all come down to this.
Tide defense hoping to make one more play.
This is the first Saturday.
Brennan in trouble to the end zone. It is intercepted. Lionel Mitchell picks it off, and that will do it. The Tide defense does indeed come up with one final play. Lionel Mitchell, the 3rd turnover of the game. The Crimson Tide defense turning Hawaii away one final time. And Alabama will celebrate a season opening win. 25-17 over the Warriors from the University of Hawaii. Mike Shula now 4-0 as Bama's head coach in season openers. I would imagine exactly what he expected. Tough until the final second ticked off that clock.
There's no such thing as a moral victory. You don't win any, you don't lose, learn anything in a loss, but still for Hawaii, just a great job to come this far, 4,320 miles. And hang in there to late seconds of the ball game against a team like Alabama on the road.
We will wrap things up in just a moment. 25-17, the final. Successful debut for Alabama here in 2006. The Crimson Tide hangs on for a 25-17 win over the Hawaii Warriors. Tide defense coming up with its 3rd turnover of the ball game on the final play of the night. The defense gets a lot of credit for holding the Warriors to 17 points, but our singular player of the game and the Napa play of the game, all very closely related. Napa play of the game, touchdown pass from John Parker Wison to Keith Brown. Phenomenal play for Keith. And he's also our singular player of the game, matching his career high with 6 receptions, 132 yards, and that miraculous touchdown. Crimson Tide with the 8-point win tonight, season opener for both Alabama and Hawaii. Tyler Watts, as we said, kind of the script we thought we might see. You never know for sure what you're going to get in the first game, but Hawaii's offense made some plays. Alabama's offense played keep away as best they could, and in the end, the Alabama defense made that last final play.
And especially keep away in the second half. Alabama offense, or rather the Hawaii defense, did a great job at halftime making some adjustments, shutting down the Alabama rushing attack, and forced them to beat them in another way, and that was through the air.
Our Red Diamond final stats before we say good night. The Warriors, a tremendous second half offensively, closed the gap considerably, but Alabama still with the edge in total yards, 378 to 372. Penalties became more of a factor late for the Warriors, and Alabama, look at that time of possession. That was the game plan. 35, almost 36 minutes time of possession for the Crimson Tide. The net result of all those numbers is a 25-17 win for Mike Shula and the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's going to do it for the season opener. A lot of fun for Alabama. Solid showing for the Warriors as well. We appreciate you spending part of your Labor Day weekend with us. For Tyler Watts, Russell Yamanoha, and Chris Stewart, I'm David Crane, reminding you our next pay-per-view ball game for the Tide a couple of weeks against Louisiana Monroe here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. For all of us at the Crimson Tide Sports Network crew, thanks for being with us, and good night from Tuscaloosa.